Check me out. Look, I know perfect timing feels like I'm too late. And I know I'm still great in spite of my mistakes. You know it's authentic every rhyme I say. My only regret is I made niggas wait. See, ain't too many like us, we like vintage bait. And I don't fuck with busters, I can't integrate. Grew up with these killers in my living space. Lot of niggas folded through them village days. Citywide gang injunction, police raids. LA Times rolling 60s made the front page. I vowed to never let tradition seal my fate. Selling dope and hopes to graduate to real estate. I knew I was drumming to a different beat. Felt it in my stomach, I was just unique. We decided we gon' let these visions speak. Then we turned Slauson into Venice Beach. S600 Maybach platinum dealer plates. Wake up in this penthouse to the cityscape. You know it's authentic, every shit I say. I knew self-destruction ain't the only way. Sometimes perfect timing feel like I'm too late. But I know you still great in spite of your mistakes. Before you run your race, you gotta find the pace. Just make sure you cross the line and fuck the time it takes. I got out the county jail 2008. Couple months I dropped the tape and I was on my way. My first single out and set the streets ablaze. On location, shot that video in front the cage. Trying to find my way through this fucking maze. Every concert, 100 niggas on the stage. We're still active, so it's really just another day. Promoters paranoid to book you, that affects your pay. And when you stop eating, that affects your weight. And when you get hungry, that affects your brain. See me, I'm not tripping, I respect the game. I hope y'all do. If I can't make it, I'm gonna take a chain. See, ain't too many like us, we like vintage bait. And I don't fuck with busters, I can't integrate. I know perfect timing feels like I'm too late. But every single time I drop, they tell me I'm the great.
Victory lap.
Loaded bases, that's my motivation. A nigga feeling lucky, we should go to Vegas. 2018 motor transportation. Got me feeling over anxious like a home invasion.
Alright, we ready.
My dough inflated and I'm more creative.
That is.
Signed a couple big deals, but it's no parading. See, it's a couple niggas every generation that wasn't supposed to make it out, but they code the matrix. And when they get to speak, it's like a coded language. Reminds niggas that they strength and all the stolen greatness.
We used to shoot at
niggas
niggas.
out the mobile station. Full circle, mogul motivation. My self-educated, shrewd negotiations. Got these sharks that I'm sitting at this table with, afraid to bait me. No 10 on my Mercedes, that's for inspiration. 2 kilos on my neck like the fucking 80s. Westside Slauson Ave know my demonstration. Born and raised, y'all affiliated.
Fact.
It's really greatness.
Really greatness.
Riding around like I really made it. Loaded bases, I'm gon' Willie Mason. Yeah.
Listen to my ambition, cause I'm on one.
Fact.
Swinging for the fences for the home run. Even further beyond into the universe.
Love Nip for that. Hit that like button and subscribe. If you ain't on my Patreon, shout out to you too. Shout out to you. Oh, great conversation. Great conversation. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it if you ain't over there. Make sure you over there. Subscribe to Cavro at Night, Channel 54, The Bungalows. Recording right now. So I can make me a bunch of shorts on my new page. I'm just fully dedicated to what I got going on over there and building this beautiful show we got in store. What's up to the chat room? What's up to the chat room? I woke up this morning and I said, today is it? Today is it. I gave the classroom enough time to go and watch Loki. Press 1. If you watched it, more power to you. You're going to have a better understanding about what we're talking about today. Hit that like button and subscribe. We're talking about this guy. And we've been talking about the damn devil this whole time and how he became the central, the seat, the king that sits on your seat of the soul, in what you call pineal gland, which was your actual brain, which was destroyed in the early 1900s by way of Universe 25 Press 1, Epcot program, nigga. Time to get serious about the road champion. I mean, if that's what y'all want to do, if y'all want to learn. And why I referenced this show is because I didn't even know this show was around. I had no idea, none at all. But it goes to show you what the theater of it all is, the allegorical concepts of space and time. And it's right down our alley of E equals MC squared and all of this Einstein theory and the theory of evolution, in which everybody believed. And one time you believed in God, and now you believe in everything but God. Here I am trying to figure out how this happened. And Disney does a great job with all of you guys' savior anyway, the devil. Press 1, and how he became your God in your brain. Press 1, and what he had to do. And how the mind and body of Adam must be destroyed and kept within a continuum loop. Press 1, a continuum loop caused by specific traumas in their minds as a collective. Press 1. And this show does a good job at watching the whole world celebrate Loki, the damn devil that grew the horns. Press 1. Come on now. We all know the devil got the horns. Let's not betray what you yourself now. How did he and what did he do? Well, he gave them time branches of time to exist in when they can live out their short, pointless, godless, libertarian, humanitarian lives. That's all fake. Press 1. Because of love and because they care so much. Never mind what was destroyed. So this show is a systematic effect on how the devil, you get me? The devil that's in history and in the Bible, destroyed Adam, the black man. Press 1, and by becoming his God in his mind, space and time, would rule over humanity. Now that's insane to say. Disney is showing this all over the TV, and the world. I'm talking about everybody. I'm seeing reactions to it now. I spent the morning looking at other people's. Man, this movie has changed, and I said, "Wow, this is how he became God of this world." Alchemy, alchemical balances, the mind of Adam, dead state. Such a magnificent inventor crushed down to nothing, destroyed. And it's playing out in an allegorical format. Just like I said, Disney was all of these people. And it just so happened we're talking about trauma and neuroscience and the study of the mind and the repairing of the mind and trauma and things of this nature. And then we have to sit back. Wait a minute. What's being displayed here? Hit the like button. Is the left and the right sides of the brain. The brain itself is the seat of the soul. Press 1. The brain itself. That's all you was looking at. Space, time is nothing more than the study of the human brain and the different stimuli that it would take to keep you in a dead state, therefore still in your heirloom. Press 1. Does that make sense to the people who watch Loki? The temporal loom. Did you do your research on these words? If you had been doing your research, you ready for the road. You ain't been doing your research on the temporal loom, and why I said y'all gotta go watch the show. It's greater. It's the scientific way of how the Nazis won World War II. Again, So it's important that you, and it's not important because you don't have to. I'm merely just asking that you do your research on it. What the tree of life is. What are these branches that died? What is that? What is that? Michael. Come on, guys. Don't just press one. Know what you're saying here. Know what I'm talking about here. If you ain't did the research, because I'm going to call on you. I'm, I'm gonna call on you, and I don't want y'all to be, discombobulated. What did the branches that Loki tapped into? We're talking about heirlooms and and temporal looms. What was the initial? What was the initial thing he said? What was the major quote in the movie, in the clips, in the damn show, Disney show? What was the initial uh what did the loom, the temporal loom represent? Anybody? Bars. Anybody? Anybody do their research on the different words, because these are lawful words. These are words that if you want to wake up, it's how you gonna wake up. Not that you just woke. What are they telling you? Let's start there. The word temporal. What is that? Then loom. Now, as y'all tap into that, the one thing that the young lady told Loki was they control your memories through by way of what? Enchantment. Enchantment. Ladies, what is enchantment? Fellas, what is uh temporal loom? No, no, no. I'm not saying maybe. This isn't a place where you ain't watched season 1 or 2 yet, Michael. I can care less. So what? I'm right here talking right now, and I'm asking the definition of loom. My phone lines are open. This ain't that, Mike. This ain't that, Serenity. No, no, ma'am. No, 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 no. This ain't what you thought and what you think. It's what you know. That's the only way out. It's what you know, champion. So, what is the temporal, and what is the loom in which they're tapping into? It's the not doing your definition searches on what the series is even about is a waste. I told you Nazis won World War II. They know it, and they put it in The Man in the High Castle. You just have to be able to see it in your mind. Well, this is your mind here. The temporal loom. We're talking real stuff here. Let them daydream about theatrics and the effects of things, and the different storylines of love and these things. That's there. But okay, Mike, you're out of here. Thanks, Mike. You're gonna make this real easy on me today. Yeah, the men don't do that. Sorry, sir. This ain't that type of thing. Let me break this down, bro. Okay. Okay. So enchantment, anybody? 424-209-9506. Enchantment. temporal loom. Okay, for starters. Okay. Is now in comparison, heirloom, HEIR, in law is a personal chattel that by special custom descends to an heir with inheritance, being such a thing as cannot be separated from the estate without injury to it, such as jewels of a crown, charters, deeds, and such like. Press one. Where are we? Huh? Are you there? A frame, number two, a frame or a machine or wood or other material in which weaver works thread into cloth. Are we talking about that? No. We're talking about heirloom. Press one. Okay. Temporal. Pertaining, temporal. Adjective. Remember I told y'all too many adjectives, not enough nouns? Pertaining to the life of this world or the body only. Secular as temporal concerns, temporal affairs. In a sense, it is opposed to spiritual. Let not temporal affairs or employments divert the mind from spiritual concerns, which are far more important. In a sense, this is opposed to ecclesiastical as temporal power. That that is secular, civil, or political power. Temporal courts, which those which take cognizance of civil suits. Temporal jurisdiction is in which regards to civil and political affairs. Two, measured or limited by time or by the life of this state of things, having limited existence opposed to eternal. To the things which are seen are temporal, but things that are not seen are eternal. 2 Corinthians 4 and 18. In grammar, relating to a tense as in temporal argument, pertaining to the temple are temples of the head, as the temporal bone, the temporal artery, or vein, temporal muscle. Are we there? That's why I said I'm taking days off because I see, it's only going to be a few that decide to make it a point to listen to what I'm saying. I do this out the kindness of my heart. This is the stuff I be thinking about. So it's going to help you better understand what you even doing at the road. You hear me, Benjamin? Not to play around and type things in my chat room. Benjamin, you've been doing that far too long, champ. Yeah, that part of your game is over. Let that be known. It's over. Yeah, there ain't no more of that. It's a wrap. There's a heightened, some more care and effort put in by you. By you. Ladies, I can understand, even though they ain't got me the explanation or the dictionary, the 1828 of enchantment and what any of this is. Right now, I'm just working on temporal. So we're talking loom, a temporal loom. So what is a temporal loom? What is it? The definitions are here. 1828, Black's Law. We're talking how to keep Adam brain dead. Okay. Universe 25, are you there? Are you awake today? How to keep you in a coma like state. Black, which in law is incompetent, dead, lost, and never found. ATV is serenity. We're not doing that. No, we're not. We're not talking about your most high and what your most high can do of time or none of that. You got the wrong perspective. You got an allegorical concept I'm not talking about that. Looking back, I realize you don't know what the hell you talking about God or the Most High. Most people just say the Most High ain't even in any word. So you just stay right there. We talking about this show and how it applies to what we've been talking about. Then what we've been talking about. Nelda B said a temporary air. Look at that. A stand-in, a false state. Because of what, Nelda? Talk to me. Enchantment means to cast a spell, lay a curse, or use charm on someone in order to have total control over that life. Thank you, Shiva. Damn it. Damn. Thank you. And that's all I want is my students to just be aware. Thank you. Yeah, dang. You feel me? This is where it is. We talking about everything. This is the science here at Cairo University. So you got to be in tune. We got the history. That's one thing. We got the allegorical concept. That's another thing. Press one. This is the neuroscience behind what we talking about here. That went into the chemical destruction, the chemical warfare against black people in the early 1900s and the late 1800s, from food to pesticides. This is the complete alchemical. It was all done to destroy the mind of Adam and turn Adam into ATOM, in which you too can take part in your own chemical destruction. And you will never know a mass genocide is going on to this day, like the Bronze Bomber said. And how are they able to do this? Enchantment. Enchantment. This is the story of Loki. Y'all do know this, right? So Sylvie taught Loki what? Enchantment. This is like Eve and Adam, Eve and the devil. Enchantment. I told y'all the hermetic principles and these things is what you was taught that ultimately led to your betrayal of not just God, but the natural order of things. Y'all went off into spiritual things and what the same things that led to Solomon's destruction. A lot of y'all are part of fraternities that have made this your religion. From necromancy to spell casting to love casting to this one and to that one. How to keep Adam and that brother dead and how to have control over him, which led to the fall of Adam and his nation. I told y'all the federal government, the dead corporation, the Lloyds of London, the Swiss bankers, Nazis, all these people, they did this by sending your children off to war and never to return. I told you, dowries is the secret behind the deal made. 33%. This ain't no magical number of nothing. It is the deal of the devil. Press one. You go to any attorney office, the first thing you're going to say is 33%. And control over the state, get the back end 33%. The whole bloodline loses its heirship. Now, all women rule them by way of what? Enchantment and spell casting. Yes, yes, this is true. This is true. Your mama, your auntie, just all of them. All of them. And a lot of y'all in the church go right there, bobbing your head right off into spell casting right at your house. Using the word of God combined with necromancy to fulfill the thoughts of Satan or the Peter. Loon is a fear of what is coming. Well, Loon, we're talking cap vlog. I respect you, but if you can't speak and read the definitions thoroughly, okay? Because it is a fear that it's coming, but we just broke down what loom is. Don't come into my argument, sir, and change it to what you think we're talking about. Press one in my class. So if you got something to say, Cap, you need to come on up to the front and grab that microphone and be courageous. Don't sit in there and do that. Press one. I need my people who taking notes to understand because they didn't take notes this whole time I was off. So I got to come back on and make them. You feel me, Cap? You not taking notes, Cap. You're not doing the research. You're not up at 1, 2, and 3 in the morning to come back and do a show. Make sure your audience, make sure Melissa understand. I knew Melissa ain't take no damn note. I know DJ ain't take no. We was trying to play video games this weekend. So I gotta come back home with my notes and the people who have been taking notes and just keep our conversation going. Gotta keep it because I understand the dead state and waking up is a challenge. It's a hell of a challenge. So I'm not mad at y'all people. Y'all can talk all y'all want on Channel 54 in the bungalows, Coffee and Kush TV, coming up later on today. But in class, bro, just, take some notes. And if you're not going to take notes and call in, just chill. It's all good. Just take a lot of time to get our people to think about something other than dead. Is that like what it just dead bullshit? We can do that every day. So if you want to take part, don't do it in my chat room. Do it right there. Right here, call it in. Because we talking about trauma, how it relates to all of this. And one thing I don't do is play with people's trauma. I ain't gonna play with your trauma. You feel me? Because I got trauma. Everybody suffer from this looping of trauma, which I've been like, damn, everybody got like this same type of thing. So we going into Loki, bro, and what this all meant. And if you want to take part, feel free to call it on in, bro. I'm right here. I'm right here. It's okay, brother. Let me in, bro. Let me in. You talking to he who lives or he who remains in the show, bro. Press one. See, you playing. I came to school ready. See, because I'm here to tell you, he who lives and he who remains have a lot in similarity. Hit that like button and subscribe. And subscribe. You got to be ready. He who lives and he who remains have a lot in common. And I'm gonna ask y'all this, and you're gonna have to find the similarities. Cavro University, you on the air? What up?
Yeah, I have a question for you, sir. You said that 33%. So what's the Super Bowl all about? The devil and the devil because Vegas is the devil's playground. So was it all about the devil?
I don't understand that. I think that's just an unnecessary mindset of conspiracy and Super Bowl and a waste of time when I'm talking about something that I said in my classroom. So, brother, honestly, if you don't have a question pertaining to this, I don't know about no other devil than what I'm talking about. So you watch too much TV or got different things running in your mind. We're gonna talk about that later on, how a lot of our brothers just on autopilot and don't know what the fuck they even suggesting. So stay on cue. Don't chase the butterflies on the baseball field, champion. Thanks a lot. Anyway, don't chase the ladybug, sir. Put your baseball mitt on, get ready to play. So, he who lives, he who remains is important in the film and in reality. Sesqui Heirloom Trust example to my man said versus the theoretical. Now, what was we saying said? What was being said, sir? Wait a minute. Is this the second go around? Pretty much. George Washington being a black man would mean what? That's what we were discussing. means actually what? What did they have to do to break down the intelligent mind and turn our people into who just called in? Rather innovators and creators, great explorers, great owners, and people of great notoriety, great wealth. Just early in the 1900s, bro. What did it take to break them down? I told you, LSD, but 25, which is a chemical balance that they use to put you in Wonderland and place you in the world of Universe 25. And you've been there ever since. And that ain't nothing but a huge asylum science project in the study of Adam. Alchemy, like I told you, is the study of the destruction of Adam. Quantum physics, science, these are all Nazi propaganda ways of psychologically hypnotizing us as a collective, placing us in different traumatic states, causing traumatic triggers that are on time all the time, so that you never feel God's grace and God's love. Just going back to Jubilees and you being a Jew, not just saying, man, we Israel on the corner. No, this is your name. This is your inheritance that's directly tied to God Himself. Are we there? Television, cocaine, and guns. Excellent point. Excellent point. And more than that, what is the chemical destruction? The skull and bones of it all was what? Embalming fluid. We talked about these things. Well, that's just, they gave you a religious aspect. That's your religion. Your religion is the praising of your own downfall. Staying in a nigger, monkey minded part of the circus mindset. No life without the circus. Wow. 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 No life without the circus. Death squared. Thank you. Thank you. Death completely all the way around. You worship a rock, a square that fell from space. Remember? Then you go counterclockwise. Remember that? Y'all, your whole thing is a backward, counter clockwise way of living. Y'all don't turn God, the law, ecclesiastical and Levitical law into dream worlds and imagination. And don't make the imagination real. So much so, Mickey Mouse got real sovereignty. Mickey Mouse got more sovereignty than the average African American who's been here before anybody else. So what does that have to do? What does one have to do with another? Well, once you understand the language of science and all of these different ways of understanding, you ready to understand. You talking sciences and agricultural and different branches out there. But once you get the main two, three ways that these people communicate, this so-called knowledge, which is just knowledge that you don't know, you do know because you live it. But you ain't gonna see it when it's shown in your face and made out of superheroes and different things because you're hypnotized. You understand it a little bit, but it ain't connected to you. It's given to us, Iron Man or some damn body, Magneto. Oh yeah, Magneto was in the damn Holocaust, not you. Feel sorry for Magneto. So, so heirlooms. Where was I? Heirlooms and enchantment. The act of producing certain wonderful effects by the invocation or aid of demons, are the agency of certain supposed spirits, the use of the magic arts, spells, or charms, incantations. The magicians of Egypt did so with their enchantments. That's in Exodus 7 and 11. Irresistible influence, overpowering influence of delight, the warmth of fancy withholds the heart of a reader under the strongest enchantment. Enchantment simply means to cast a spell, lay a curse, or use charm on someone in order to have total control over that life. Press one. Remember, the temporal loom is the heart of the TVA. Now, listen to me. The temporal loom is the heart of the TVA. It is where raw time is refined into physical timeline. Raw time, real time, is placed into physical timeline. And that's Ouroboros. That's what Ouroboros told Loki. Shout out to the people who watched the show. The temporal loom was a device that refined raw time into a physical timeline and served as a failsafe to maintain the sacred timeline. When the original timeline was overloaded with false timelines, all false timelines and branches of thereof will be destroyed. It is completely a failsafe to the original timeline. Press one. Are we there? So the timelines in which you believe in which you know, no, there's no CERN. CERN is in your brain. Ain't no via CERN, via propaganda, via MK mind control, the separation of God. CERN can't separate you from God, Mr. Williams. Only you can. Now, be quiet. Only you can, sir. Stop trying to blame a goddamn computer. You, Desmond, not understanding law and it separates you, your left from right brain, and to get you thinking with a goddamn 10% you. Ain't no damn CERN. There ain't no damn Illuminati. Ain't no Satan can stop you. That's the problem with the black man. Too busy blaming Eve and everything else and holding himself accountable for not understanding space and time, neuroscience, just a little bit. Okay, you're not teaching here. Just sit down in my chat room. Thank you. Time out, 30 minutes. Go think about what you've done outside the classroom. Turn your desk, face the lockers so you don't get distracted by what's the name of them in the hallways. Thank you. Okay, so I want my class, people who support my class, to understand this format right here. And again, this is just for you to study. Don't get caught up in him going outside and turning his desk around. This is just entertainment. Because our people crazy. Okay, and the different aspects of the loom. Feel free to call in 424-209. Well, the number's at the bottom of the screen. Who built the temporal loom? The black man. What is the temporal loom? We just went over that. So if the black man built the temporal loom, I'm not talking science fiction here. See? And I gotta have my class. I'm not talking science fiction here. I'm talking real life. If a black man built the temporal loom, then what is it? And what gave Loki dominion over the earth? Press 1. Over your mind. What is the temporal loom? We just talked about it. It's in composition, heirloom in law. Chris Cook, you got to be more specific. A crown. Explain. Explain. I would love to hear an explanation to that, Chris Cook. A crown. What makes you say that? So, 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 I'm waiting on y'all. I'm waiting on Ali, who's sitting back watching, because we're going to get into different terminologies, and I want to make sure y'all there. Okay. In the show, he who remains is who? In the show, he who remains is who? I'll wait. See, now we're talking representation. Okay, he who lives, he who remains. You're saying same person. Well said. Who is that in the show? If you didn't know he who lives and he who remains, who would he be in the show? The creator of what? The loom, the temporal loom. What was the temporal loom, the device, used for? What did it protect? Here it says, uh, choosing to reject he who lives notion that the sacred timeline is the only means of survival. You heard that? Choosing to reject he who remains notion that the sacred timeline is the only means of survival. Loki destroys the temporal loom and used his magic enchantments to revive the various branches, holding them together, as he took over the throne situated in the citadel at the end of time. Does that make sense? Can't make sense to everybody because everybody just got it. It can't make sense to everybody, so I just want to make sure that it makes sense. So, what's a citadel? A fortress or a castle. It is near a city intended for its defense, a place of arms. Press 1. Okay. So, so if the temporal loom is destroyed and Loki destroyed it because it's another way other than what was set before him, press 1, and he used magic to revive various branches. Oh, we gonna get to it, family. Oh no, ain't no way out of this. This is a good time to be alive. Cairo University, Professor Gillespie, Here, you on the air. What up?
What's up, Professor Gillespie? Said, how you doing, Kev?
Said, what up, champ? Then I want you to know there's no wrong answers. We just have conversations. So everybody's
Damn, so you said.
everybody's good, and we're just thinking and using our mind to this awesome conversation. What's on your mind, champ?
So, this is good. So what you're, I don't know if I want to say hinting at, but we're talking about a right? We're talking about a right that's passed down through law,
Okay.
and so you saying like, I haven't watched the show yet. I haven't really had time to sit down and
That's
fucking watch
okay. That makes it even better.
it. Yeah, I
That makes
know.
it even better.
I saw the first half though.
Okay.
I've seen the first half.
Okay.
I haven't seen season 2 yet.
Oh, I
But from
binge
what I'm
watched
seeing
it, bruh. I couldn't stop. I had the
is,
flu. I watched it while I had the flu,
yeah,
and I said, "Oh my goodness!" It's. I thought about Sid, Taj, the whole team. I'm like, "Damn, they gonna love this show." But go ahead, talk about it.
yeah. Plus, I really kind of wanted to hear you talk about it before I watch it, so I could watch it from your perspective and it be
Ah,
fresh. And I don't have like my own, like twisted little uh, perspective on it.
watch
So
it. Well, my
it's,
advice
yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
to
I'm
watch
gonna
it,
start it
but
today,
with
more
the
than likely. I'm gonna start
eyes
it today.
of how I'm doing the show. Like these words that's being
Right,
tossed around that they want you to focus on that sound magical and theatrical. These are actually words in the 1828, and it's right down the alley of destroying Adam.
right,
So this is like,
right. Because
wow.
like,
Go ahead, champion.
mhm. So we're talking about like Universe 25, and if you go back to it with John Calhoun and him showing the graph and the temporal part being a finite amount of time. So it's a set time. It's not infinite time. It's set time where Loki has a time to subvert, right? He has
You're
a time
absolutely
to,
right. He has a set time,
yeah,
and the black dude was telling him, "All right, man, you made a choice. You got all right. See you in a chance. See you in a minute. So go ahead."
right. And from like the little stuff that I've seen, it seems like He Who Remains he's the creator of it all, and he has, like they said, it's a failsafe where it all falls back to him anyway. There's no dividing him out. There's no Xing him out. It all falls back like he was showing us with the man in the high castle with the bulb, with the mirrors and the bulbs. How it's all reflections of different times
The
and
original source
yes,
manipulated
but it
over
all
different time.
collapses back in down. Yes,
Damn.
and it
So
all
you would
collapsing
consider
back
that like
down into the
branches. You would
original.
consider that like different false timelines and develop lives
Yes,
developed upon and then destroyed. Thus, us in the future can say, wait a minute,
yes,
this person was this person in this timeline, but in this timeline over here, he's JP Morgan. That's why we were having those
right,
connections. Go ahead, champ.
right. And that's what part of the like confusing part of was about even trying to actually see the real timeline is
Facts.
realizing that these were all characters. But this this kind of reminds me of the scene from the Matrix when Neo goes and meets the architect. It feels like it's almost a continuation of that, or
Yes.
this is like Loki being like the Merovingian
Yes.
and him having the time to operate, and then Kev comes and it shows the inevitability of the creator. It's the alpha and the omega.
The beginning, the
How do you
middle,
explain it?
and the end.
Yes,
And the devil's reign
yes,
and the time of mind
yes.
manipulation just to find out in the end it's the coming of the Lord is just the return and the rebirth of what was destroyed.
Right, and it all being uh, like the architect said. What did the architect say? He said that we don't. I don't look at time in the way that you do. I look at time from the emergence of one anomaly to the next. So
Oh,
that's like you saying with the
generational.
observer being the 0 point. Yes,
Yes.
they're being the observer being the 0 point of time being reset, and the perspective of, well, I guess him seeing through the subversion and being able to put time back on to its correct trajectory by going back, by actually being able to look back on what has happened and being able to
Piece together,
yes,
piece
yes,
together the ordained walk of
yes,
the ultimate path that one must walk. It's almost a
yes,
stairway
sir.
to destiny. So that's like, how did Loki destroy the mind and place himself as God in the mind of Adam? Well, the science project was what? Universe 25.
Universe 25. Mm-hmm. You're putting him in a minor state, like mentally in a minor state. Through, I guess, with this, with the, what did you say it was? It was enchantment. That would be like calling yourself black,
Yeah, well, it's
or
all
like
by
a
way of
nigga.
media. What is the etymology word? What is
Yeah,
the etymological
yeah,
breakdown of media? It's like spell casting.
yes,
So, what? Why television?
yes. By portraying an image of him as
Bingo.
Lord. Uh,
So, just like Magneto, no, Professor X was connected to everybody by way of what? What did he have?
Neo,
Huh?
but he controlled metal.
No, Professor X. Remember
Oh, I'm
the
thinking about
mind,
Magneto. Yeah,
the
yeah, he had
cerebral
the, yeah, by the
something.
mind.
Yeah, and then he put that hat on
Cerebral.
and cerebral, and it connected
Yeah,
to everybody on Earth's brain. What was that machine? That's the internet, bro.
right.
Yes.
I ain't never look at it that simple.
Yeah, because he's able to connect to everybody. And everybody is connected by way of this machine that's connected to everybody. Fucking, what is that? That's fucking internet. So he can
Yeah,
get in your brain real fast. But he couldn't fuck with Apocalypse because Apocalypse is the one who let him in the internet. But that's a whole
right.
nother allegorical perspective. But Shiva just
Because
said
I
it
mean,
works like a network. So you're talking science, space and time.
right.
This is why Elon Musk and them be saying human brain cells, the universe, and the internet all are the same. Because it's true. They all have similar structures. Why? Because they ain't no damn space. They just studying the mind of Adam. That's it. This
And
is a
they,
science
they,
project. Go ahead.
it's like they're creating controlled detonation of atoms, like you said with
Give me a
Oppenheimer,
perspective. What do you mean by
the
that?
nuclear
They're
bomb.
setting controlled demolitions in the mind of Adam. Go ahead.
But they figure out how to trigger him, and through media and the portraying of a family, they've figured out how exactly to put Adam in a situation to react in a way that is, what would
Detrimental
you
to
say? I guess negative
his
to his,
estate.
yeah, detrimental to his, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes,
Remember, you can we going into we only are citizens by way of criminality. We born black, gonna be black. We're 13th, 14th Amendments. Our rights were stripped away by 13th and 14th Amendment. That's equivalent to the Nazis stripping away the Jews' religion and faith and walking them into a complete furnace, burning them up into being black and the charcoal and fuel for their economy. Press one.
right? And just through generational trauma, it's been multiple
Yes.
uh, detonations throughout
Yes.
everybody's family. I remember, like you talk about, remember we talked about trauma. I remember witnessing my parents, like when they split, the whole detonation of my nuclear family.
Right.
I saw it with my own eyes,
Right.
and I've had my own. I've had my own detonation. Where
Detonations.
I've
There
gone
you
on.
go. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah. So I can see where it's like multi-layered trauma, where it's
Oh.
a repeating cycle
Controlled
of man destroying
demolitions.
himself.
You're going to jail. You about to fund this whole, and I'm gonna be your God because in God you trust. Remember?
Right. And it goes back, like you say, to parents' patriarchy. If you're
Come
a
on.
minor, then you have to be governed by someone of a higher status, and that way they take control of you because they set you into the minor state. And even like they say, even if you get out, we don't understand it. Maybe you still looked at as a criminal. You still looked at as property.
So we looked up the word branch because different branches came from this. The thing is, these terms that's being thrown around and the different branches that came out of this. But let me give you a good breakdown of this branch. Press one. One of the words is to have horns shooting out. Okay, that's one of the definitions of it. But to shoot the shoot of a tree or other plant, a limb, a bark shooting from a stem or another branch of or dough. Uh, Johnson restricts the word to a shoot from the main body definition warranted neither by etymology nor usage. A diversion of a main stem. Uh,
Would you look at that as like Would you look at that as like left and right hemisphere of the brain?
yes,
Like man being the tree or Adam being the tree, and
yes.
they're branching off of the two hemispheres of his mind.
And the original
Adam,
timeline is right through the middle. But go ahead.
yes, yeah, it would be yeah, just like that. Like
So Loki, wait. So that is like the left and the right hemisphere of the mind. You said exactly, and
yeah,
it's
it would
and it's
be
and it's
a
splitting
severing of the
the
two.
splitting of the atom because again, what is the brain? The brain is the seat of the soul.
That would be eating from the fruit. That would be eating from the fruit.
Why you say that? Talk to me.
Well, that would be the you're if there's only one perspective and somebody comes along and it gives you another perspective and you start to believe that you'll have split mind. You wouldn't know
Boom.
you wouldn't you wouldn't know which one would be the
Oh,
actual truth.
oh, well said. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that alone would cause confusion, and there would be a mixing of the two, a synthesis of the two mixing together and forming a synthetic. I guess ideology would be a synthetic thought process. It would be a light, synthetic light.
A synthetic right. That mean amended. Everything must be amended like broken down to
Yes,
fit the benefit
yes,
of another. But they got all type of, even within that dead corpse, which you call a corporation, there are what? Three branches of government. There are branches of
yes.
mathematics, branches of law, the tree. And this is all based off of what? The tree of science, which consists of what? Come on, this is Kabbalah. This is your Kabbalah broken down in
Yeah,
reality.
it's Kabbalah. It's
Okay,
Kabbalah. Yeah,
geology,
Kabbalah.
meteorology, astronomy, chemistry,
Yes.
physics, mathematics, physiology,
Language.
paleontology, anthropology, bacteriology, zoology, and this one, geography, and all of these different sciences that makes us the world around.
Yes,
That
sir.
makes in your brain, that gives you the conception of why science in the mind of Loki, the king of science, or whatever he is, in your brain. Goshly. Because believing in this will make you, if let's say you got a whole kingdom built on God and the people start believing in this will make you incompetent of the trust.
Yes, sir. It would, because you wouldn't have a actual sense of reality of you wouldn't even. I mean that time comes from that. You wouldn't even.
Say it again. Time
Yeah.
comes from that. So the end of time is what said? The end of the devil's kingdom. Rule in your mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Coming to
sir.
merge both hemispheres back into one. So you can see.
It
Not
would be
what?
one mind's eye.
One mind's eye. You won't have, there you go. There you go. Because we was talking about the perception, the eye of Lucifer, or the light of Lucifer in the perspectives. You what the mind believes, the eye sees. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, what the mind believes, the eye sees.
So it's like believing in there's a spiritual devil after you, like the man with the pitchfork, and if you believe that, you'll see it.
Yeah,
Is that
but this
right?
yeah, but this also goes back to the consciousness energy grid and all of the programming that it took to mind control a person. And they taking the right and left side, which create the hologram and the universal mind on the left side. And see, I'm gonna show these graphs again. I have to. I don't have a choice. But it goes back into how they were able to create this in your mind. They actually wrote all this down, like Ease Your Mind came on the show and brought up. This this is the science project that the and how to change the reality of Adam. False timelines, characters, all led to what? The theft of the estate. The Freedmen banks, all destroyed, robbed, turned into one Federal Reserve System offshore bank account. You placed in a dead state, never to wake up again. And when you do wake up, I mean, shit, there's only so far you can go in this fucking triggered world we live in, to where one day you going back to the dark side. You one step away. You create a whole system, a whole penal system behind that. There'll be
Right.
criminals for an eternity, thus feeding the system. But they won't even know how to use their right to turn away the basic peace officer who asked them for an identification card. They will be in full, complete submission to a dead state. They are black and they will remain that way. I don't even know why they're watching old cowboy films when that's going on right now. Go ahead, Sid. I apologize.
Yeah. I look at I don't watch a lot of TV, but I've started watching like sovereign citizens and how they interact with the police, and just seeing how the whole universe 25 gives us like it always brings me back to like the gateway process that you showed us, and how they plant these ideas in your head, and
Yes.
then you take the idea in, and you feel as if in your head as you know it all, but when you actually get to have to explain it, you can't even. It's all delusion. It's a delusion,
Yeah, you
and
go
how
off
people
into
are
Wonderland. You go off into
yes,
Wonderland trying to
non
explain it.
comprehensive. Yes,
So
yes,
not only
sir. And you
are you
alienate yourself
dead,
from your own land.
yeah, not only there you go, you alienate yourself from your own land by way of mind control. Again, this is a
Right. Yes,
mind
sir.
control based program that has infiltrated your brain, in my opinion, because it infiltrated mine. I had some cartoonish way of even thinking about God, law, the instruction, like Moses. I had some like, and now I'm like, wow, you know,
Yeah, because seeing how the law is actually here to protect us, like it gives you it keeps you in a victim state. It
that's what
keeps
the
you
trauma
in a
does.
victim
That's what the
mentality.
psychological
Yes,
effects of. That's a side
yes,
effect of the predetermined trauma that's coming right back around. We're all about to feel it some ways. It's about to hit. So that trauma is like clockwork. And like you said, it's to keep you triggered, happy, ready to blow, turn you in from a good
yes.
person to a demon, a person that was innocent into a statistic of why the federal government and police need to amp up more police uh, and accuse more of your children of the same various destruction right here. Because I'm going to show what they did in the 1980s in Los Angeles, where I'm from. I'm going to show that. And I'm going to show the traumatic from that point on to now, and the effects of that. That's just from South Central LA. And that keeps us out here in that same dementia, wonderland, compos mentis state of mind where you're not able to distinct tell reality from science fiction, and start living the science fiction, which would be the devil's reality. Shit,
Yes, sir.
right?
I like when you said yes, sir. I like when you said the other day you were saying it just thinking about like you showed you told us about what was the movie called They Cloned Tyrone, and
Yes,
seeing how like the California base was the actual project and everything else being like a copied it's a copy it's a it's a copy of the original.
yeah,
Everyone
yeah,
else
yeah,
is a
yeah. You're
copy of the
absolutely
original.
right.
Yeah, and
South
you said
Central
like you was
is the initial
yeah,
blueprint for what was to go trickle down into Detroit, Chicago, Texas, Washington, all these different areas. It's the initial Epcot. It's the initial Universe 25. It's the trying out phase. Go ahead.
right, right. What I was saying, like you said, you said, you, what did you say? You was say you were born and raised there. You
Yes.
just affiliated. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And taking that and applying that to my own life and being able to see like, oh, like I just like I'm my perspective on life as quote unquote a black man is based off of an experiment they did
Yes.
in California and printed it off into different places, and we're all just acting it out.
Yes.
We're
Yes,
living the
sir.
trauma through and reenacting those characters
Yes.
and portray it and living it in our real life.
Yes, sir.
And from that perspective, I can see how like a lot of my brothers didn't have fathers. We didn't have a real image of what a man was supposed to be, and how we all suffer from trauma, bro.
Yes.
It's all trauma. It's all everybody's wearing a mask.
Everybody is wearing a mask. You're absolutely right.
Yes, sir.
You're absolutely right. Everybody's wearing a mask. And and these this experiment of what we're talking about here in Universe 25 needs to be broken down, said, to a scientific level, said, because South Central Los Angeles is where it went down, said. That's where I'm from. You got the best reporter right here. I've watched
Right.
crack, heroin, black tar destroy beautiful people since I was born. I was born in a science project, sir. Nigga, I am
Yes,
Bebe's
sir.
kids, bro. I
Yeah,
told
I
you.
see that,
I
sir.
tell niggas,
Just from listening and
them damn places on Boys in the Hood. Y'all want to see a dead body? That was on my way to school. That fucking driveway, I've walked that alley. That's the alley on the way to fucking Horseman from 10th Ave and Hyde Park. We walk the alley. We know where these places is. That Ice Cube is a character. That's really our life. Press one. That's where Nipsey hustled for. That's why we are the original crack babies are. 80s babies. After the 80s, that was it. Everybody was fucked up. 80, 78, 80, 75, 80, 85, but 80s babies specifically, we watched it go from analog to digital. So, yeah, shit ain't funny to me watching Chicago people die, and because I'm watching the people who look like us in South Central,
right,
but they just got dreadlocks and they say on phone now. But that's what happened.
right.
So I can look at it like, damn, they did it to them too.
Yes, sir.
That's
I
different.
see a lot of people on the internet. Yeah, I see a lot of the guys on the internet, just their mentality and how they go about life, how they look at life, and you can see the trauma. I can see it now. I can see it. I can see. I never was so sensitive to it until now. You know,
Oh yeah.
just being able to not listening to not actually listening to their story, but hearing them and their perspective and how they made it, how the situation made them feel, and not judging the situation on whether it was good or bad, but the trauma that came from the person, from the situation, and how it applies to everybody, bro. It applies to everybody, and how we all react to things, and how it takes us to a place where it's regressive instead of progressive.
Man, just thinking about it from a neurological, it was all pre-programmed, pre-programming and
Right.
but it had to be done. Adam had to be destroyed for false timelines to be created. You get me? For different
Yes,
branches
sir.
of government to be established, Adam has to be had to be and must be destroyed because they cannot live in reality. The people who did this to us cannot even face reality. That is judgment. The awakening of this chemical, biological, genocidal war that's been placed on our people since birth, and Epcot programs and Disney funded grid programs that they got gangbangers. That's just a way for Disney to fund gangbangers, bro. They're not teaching on the young niggas
Right.
nothing. They're just taking the money and getting rid of the people who can make a difference. This is the outcome of that reality. Not because Kev said it, because we watched it, bro. So now Disney, Grid, LAPD is in cahoots, in collaboration with this mindset. It has to be stopped. All across America, the war got to stop. The war on drugs got to stop. And it's only got to look at fentanyl hitting middle class and upper class, just destroying. Now it's a cycle. It's a mental health. That ain't what they said to my uncle. Who turned out to be a crackhead.
No, they say he's a super predator. They didn't call it the epidemic then.
They called it 94 crime bill, bro.
Yes, sir.
These animals got to be stopped, bro. I watched DJ Academics do the war on Chirac and call them niggas animals, bro. The same thing Joe Biden, they're like this psychological attack on the black family has to stop. So, if it's down to how we are triggered, like I said, we brought up Boys in the Hood, right? And
Yeah.
the triggering point in that is what? You know, the two brothers can't even walk by each other without what? Pulling out a gun, then all this boom, 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 led to everybody dead. People who grew up with each other. Boom, boom, boom. Who funded these movies? Harvey Weinstein. Who implanted this shit? CB fucking colors and all of this shit. When in reality, all of these people are working in cahoots. And they gotta be that way for the
major media.
Yes, bro.
Major media did it.
So we got to explain Loki from a perspective of the destroyed Adam. Other people can explain it from, yeah, go Loki. He destroyed he who remains. We the people of the destroyed he who remains. The destroyed kingdom, the destroyed republic. So we got a real reality. I'm not living in a world. That's a dark place. I'm going to use my whole brain in this one. Because this is what it's about. That's where the war is, in your mind. And we all get a dose of this collective brain when we log in every day on the internet and became part of this collective anti-God Loki being AI, artificial intelligence perspective. Press 1. This bullshit.
Yes, sir.
So, nigga, I am the virus in that. I am the nigga. Hey, don't do that. Don't do bad things.
The anomaly.
You damn
sir.
right. You damn right.
Point.
But
that
I'm real.
Is,
but I'm real. I'm
yes,
really.
sir.
I'm a real Gillespie though. That's a difference. I'm a real Gillespie though. By blood. Press 1.
The real thing.
I'm a,
busy with
say no. So let's take it even further. Let's just play with the people a little bit. Say it now. Watch this. What's the guy name who plays He Who Remains? Who was that?
What was his name? I know who he.
So what happened to
Eric
him?
Mason.
So what happened to him in real life? That just happened. Girl, they tried to set him up, didn't they?
Yes.
They used the girl to go do what?
That's what it seemed like.
And it was all on camera.
Yes, yes sir.
Huh?
The atom bomb.
The atom bomb. This is it, right? It played out right there. What happened to me played out right there.
Sir.
Everybody said, damn, but that's an actor. Everything that happened played out right there.
Yes, sir. It is. Because
right there.
What did they
She
say?
attacked him. She attacked him. He ended up with charges, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay then, bro.
And you know, and
he plays God in his film though. The creator.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
Bro. Go ahead. I just want to make sure that on this. Go ahead.
And instead of Xing him out of the storyline, as far as writing him out in the movie, they took him out in real life with the atom bomb.
Boom.
In real life.
Boom. Now you see how magic works, bro.
Right, and then they'll recast him into something else.
Bingo. Change on what you see about him.
Right, they put someone in there that they would, what the system would call as controllable.
So is art imitating reality or the vice versa? Because
it's vice versa.
Nigga, we don't found out it's a dream world right in front of y'all faces.
fighting. They play in what's it called? They play simultaneously.
That's right. What else is running simultaneous? Say it. Day timeline versus what?
The real,
B told you it was all
the
speculative
real.
timeline. It's all about the Kairos, right? Our
Yes,
Kairos
yes,
time. Our
yes,
Kairos,
yes,
right?
yes.
Speculative time versus Loki's. In the false timelines of what? We've been fighting the devil this whole time, champ. You know that?
Yes. I see it now.
Reconstructing the timelines of history is to identify the original time. We didn't do nothing but find God.
That is combating ideological subversion.
Say it again.
The 0 point is uh, the only way to combat ideological subversion
Bingo.
for the
Well
certain time.
said. You need gills to be able to swim underwater. Shout out to my man.
Yes, sir.
You feel me?
Yes, sir.
It finally hit me, said. I
So, hey,
said,
let me go,
oh,
Kev. I
shit.
got to get back to
Thank you,
work.
said. Thank you. Hey, class. It finally hit me. I said, wow. It's deeper than rap. You need gills to swim underwater, champion. You feel me, Ollie? And since we underwater, nigga, and we talking science here, since air and water is actually the same thing. Shit, nigga, you need gills. Now, ain't that something? Now, you think I was just calf gills and all of this? I didn't know nothing about He Who Lives until Shiva brought this He Who Lives up. I was worried about the Sesquive and establishing the contract and recognizing or unrecognizing the contract between a dead state and us. And now I understood King George, President George Washington. I understood different aspects of rulership. Press one. Somebody said the observer. Well said, Nelda B. The O in Omarion's song. There's gonna be the sound, girl, when it's going down. You see what I'm saying? The O in the song. I didn't know about none of them precepts or none of that. Said brought that up. So my whole thing was, how did the devil become king here? So man, the Statue of Liberty is really this one, and these people are really in all the allegorical senses is really science. So if you know science, you can see the allegorical. How does that apply on the? We went into so many different routes and ways. You feel me? But we always kept God first. We always keep God first here, not Loki, because we knew whoever did this was so intelligent to even say in prophecy and leave prophecy on earth to say, I'm going to return and the spirit of truth will return and redeem the people. And we went through captivity and we don't went through whole experiences. Can't explain it too well because of the MK mind control and Disney mind control. Press one. In the theaters of war that was produced by Disney and all of these different things of history being, that took hard work to come to these conclusions that Disney was behind my enslavement. But God damn it, fuck Mickey Mouse. Press one. I'm not thinking about Mickey Mouse. All my friends. But fuck that. I ain't thinking about no. You think them little actors that played in the Maze Runner was worried about goddamn Daffy Duck? I'm not either, nigga. They got us in the Epcot program, mind control, neurologically dead nigga in a coma state as a nationality. As a nationality. Holding your fist up, which is the fist of communism. The only life you got when they took, remember in WWF, when Hulk Hogan would be in the headlock in $1 Million Dream and they'll lift your arm up and then the audience will know you was about to sleep because your arm went back down. And then the referee will say one, and then he'll lift your arm up again while you sleep, and your arm will go back down. And then for the last one, he'll lift your arm up, and just before it went all the way back down, Hulkamania entered the building. Press one. He began to rock and shake his blonde hair around. The fucking audience went crazy. You feel me? Ollie, them motherfuckers start doing his hair around like that. Nigga was almost out. Damn it. Nigga feel like Agent Smith in the Matrix. Damn it, here we go with this shit again. And you knew, nigga, it was time, nigga. It was time for the spotlight was on Hulk Hogan, and he was about to do something, and we was all about to just go to bed happy that night. Press what for some reason. Shit, man, that's how this is, man. That's how faith is. Right before you go out, bro, they about to put your ass out. They just did COVID-19 on you. Press one. Genocide. They tried to get you up out of here again. Gave y'all the first day, and the dummies who went and took Fauci's AIDS program part 2. I feel bad for you, but guess what? At least you got to see my face. But guess what? You wanted to be stupid. You wanted to be stupid and go against and put Lucifer race in you and become a new biological human being? Fine. That's on you. Y'all don't know that Loki went all the way back in time to the World Fairs. Press one. See, y'all fucked up now. Loki went all the way back in. I make this shit look good. Look, Loki went all the way back in time in the World Fairs, and he had to go back to get the creator in the 1900s at the Chicago World Fairs because he invented everything. Press one. I told you. Wrong one. Press one. Make this shit look good. One got the fresh cardinal. I feel like the Pope. Press bars. Press what? I feel like the only cardinal that should be up in Rome. Press. I kicked y'all ass, nigga. I kicked y'all ass. Talking about Tataria. That's not what Disney said. That's not what Disney said. Disney said we agree with Mr. Gillespie. Whoever that caller was, feel free to call back in. I apologize. Feel free to call it back in. Disney said we agree with Mr. Gillespie. Why you think the slaves and the world fairs was in the same place, in the same motherfucking place, at the same motherfucking time like Tupac and Snoop Dogg? Press what? Because I told you. Now, how would I be able to see in black and white pictures, the whole world talking about Tataria? I said, them slaves look like they were being captured. This is crazy. They was at the world fairs, bro. As slaves, nigga. You never made it out the world fairs, just like that movie, just like that cartoon said, The Boondocks. Freedom Land. You never left. And everybody you see on TV sold out. I don't care who it is. If the dead state is pushing them and is ignorant and it has no substance to life and is without God, the dead, I don't care what they doing. I don't care what you think, how cool they is. They are operative of the dead state and there to entertain your ass back to the coma state. They don't talk about nothing about God, the law, nothing a man supposed to know when traveling about or living about this damn country or this fucking empire we live in. These motherfuckers, all they want to do is play and call each other gay because that's cool to say on the internet now. Press one, oh, hell no. Hell no. Cat Williams is right with them. Press one. It takes, if you was in a Weinstein produced movie, Weinstein probably licked on your balls. Don't run now. Press one. Don't move. Don't play with me. I'm a Democrat. Remember? I was born with you. Nigga, I wasn't born in the goddamn Sahara Desert nowhere with no sandals on. I was born South Central or South Centralia is what I call it. Press one. That's my Spanish twist on it. That's my Gillespie autograph. Or South Centralia. Is what we just had a flood.
To accept, press
Hey,
1.
listen, we just had a flood in South Centralia. We don't have earthquakes and floods back to back to back. Hit that like button and subscribe. Turn the sound down. What's your name and where you calling from? Hit that like button and subscribe. Caller, are you there? Are we there? Mic check. That's right. Destruction. That's right. Destruction. Everywhere. Repairing our brains is hard work. It's going to be hard work. They don't even know what to say. They have no counter argument against this neuro attack. Press 1. I hit these niggas with a Dugan this morning. Press 1. Man, they can't even respond. There's nothing to say. They just stand there and look stupid. Press 1. You need care. I'm not you. I'm special. Press 1. God made me this way. God knew me when I was in the womb. I could have been aborted. Press 1. Margaret Sanger campaign. They were trying to knock us down. Press 1. Planned Parenthood. If you survive Planned Parenthood, press 1. I'm going to get a t-shirt. I want everybody to support my movement to destroy genocide. Over 200 billion and counting babies. I'm going to make a shirt and you better buy it. It's called, this is how you support care. I survived Planned Parenthood. Press 1. I'm going to get number 1, specimen number 1, and you're going to get whatever number you fall in. How's that? That way we all tell artificial intelligence, fuck you. Press 1.
1.
Oh
To
my
send a
goodness.
voicemail.
Carroll University, you on the air. What up?
What's going on, champ? This Rico. You can hear me?
I can hear you now. What's going on, man?
My bad. I want to call in, man, and talk about a little bit of that time relativity. E equals MC squared and the hydrogen bomb, but
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about.
I know, that's why I say I'm gonna start off on the LOKI. That's why I say I'm.
There you go. Start right here.
Yes, sir. And I wanted to talk about how what you was bringing up with the E equals MC squared. He who lives and he who remains. Well, he who remains. And what you got in the subject of the show. And so starting off there, I want to say the way you said was breaking it down, the timeline and the split of events. I'm not going to touch up on the bomb, but I do think, when they blow up the atom bomb, like you said, even when y'all was talking about in the mind of the atom, thinking about the atom, because like you say, this is a science project that they did to be able to throw us in the twilight zone, to remix time to where as we study the law, you say we'll be stuck in allegory, we'll be stuck in the commerce, the
Canaan
law of the sea. Yeah, the law of the sea, the water, Canaan law. Yes, sir. And I believe that's why even they showed that Scientology commercial on the Super Bowl, because Scientology is a sea organization, a church under the Roman Catholic Church, but not to just jump off. But
all of them are sea organizations. All of them adhere to Canaan law.
Yes. Come on now.
Yes.
And so when I think about the
if you're a federalized Indian, you too.
Yes, sir. When I think about the E equals MC squared and how the time relativity and how the study of that was the study of the carbon, understanding the study of the implosion of the atom.
That's
trying
right.
to turn fission and fusion. That's what happened. That's what created the first atom bomb, was taking fission, nuclear energy, and fusion nuclear energy.
That's the merging.
Atom, yeah.
That's actually the merging of man and the machine, or the state. It's actually the Philadelphia experiment and how to merge him into the ship. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. And see the way you help me see it, Professor, is the way I can see this atom bomb blowing up in multiple different versions. So again, what you say, we can see an atom bomb in law. We can see it
Yes.
in the person to person.
Yes.
You know, you can atom bomb with somebody. You can atom bomb within yourself.
You can self-destruct.
You know.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
The actual real atom bomb
Yes.
that they created, the hydrogen bomb.
The
that they
hydrogen
said was
bomb?
10 billion more times powerful than the atom bomb that they created. And so
this
yes,
is
sir.
crack.
Yes, sir.
This ain't just regular cocaine. This ain't regular. This
Come
is
on,
crack.
come on now,
nigga. This is.
That's straight late. That's straight late.
You
Yes,
gotta
sir.
heat this up in a spoon to get this shit. What? The
A long spoon, because if you do something the wrong way, you can blow up the whole shit. fam. You can blow up the
fucking
whole
chemical.
shit right
You
now.
fucking scientists. Man. What happened to your whole apartment building? Oh, the scientists in apartment 18 over there. I needed to cook up something, obviously, but go ahead, champ.
And then when it get down to it, you be like, well, what you was really studying? Black people. We was studying, black people. Now, come on now. And so even when it goes down to what you was breaking down, like how you started it off in the sense of Cuba, and then how Siva was able to bring the He Who Lives, and how we even talked about the civil litter mortis part of it, and about us being black and
Yes.
dead in law.
Yes.
Not only because of the continuous genocide and perpetual Holocaust of our people since
Yes.
the inception of the war, but also what I believe, like I say, that the theological perspective that has placed our people under that Hellenistic, under
Yes.
that you can be a
You
Christian.
can
or
you
be
can
a
call
Roman,
it
can
you
be
can
whatever
call it
you-
a Hellenistic because it's built off of death and hell. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And necromancy, as you talk.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, that's
Yes,
what
sir.
Loki is. He's
Come on
he's a necromancer. Loki is
come on. And-
blaming Eve. He's saying, look, the devil is saying, I got all this from Eve. Eve blamed Loki. Adam fell because he just walking. They blaming each other. Loki and Eve is. No,
what's going
I
on.
never saw the devil blame the woman. And she taught me necromancy or enchantment. Go ahead, champ.
Enchantment, that's the word,
Yeah.
enchantment. Right.
There's 7 hermetic principles, man. She's all he
Man,
called her. He called her an Eastern Star. He said, "Man, this bitch taught me everything."
I watched it like the last. I watched the little 30-minute briefing for the last episode. Come on now, and I say, nah. We're seeing the tree of life and how when he pulled and brought out the strings together.
Yes.
Like you just brought up the Kabbalah and the Kabbalah tree.
Yes.
And I think even when it came to the Scientology, that's
Those were the
'cause,
branches.
they placed
He
in the-
brought the branches together.
Come on
Say
now.
it right. Say it right. He brought the branches
Yes, sir.
together.
The branches, correct. Yes, sir.
Yes.
The branches. And I would think when you say that, I think about the how you showed us how the Pope and what was that when you showed all the branches coming out the rat wheel? I'm trying to think about it. It's Universe 25, but they had it at that obelisk. I mean, at that church that was shaped like a snake, and you always show it. It's kind of shaped like how the bones was put together. But I'm trying to think of what it was called. But it was set. It was like the Pope's chair, and it looked like a tree, and branches was coming out of it. But I think about it because you showed us that's how the rat mind is when you what was the terminology you used, Professor, when it comes to Universe 25, and then stuck in the rat wheel and being connected to the rat's tail.
Yeah. That's pulling in the big elephant and all that. But go ahead, bro. I forget. I got to go back in my notes. I'm actually pulling something up on the screen. Go
Yes,
ahead.
sir. No problem. But when I think about it, I read in the Black Law Dictionary that necrophiliism is insanity. It's classified as insanity. So it would be
Wow.
insanity to believe that you can raise up the dead or try to control time outside of time by you creating.
You can
a
talk
dead
to the
time, because
dead.
that's why I wanna go.
You can talk to the dead.
Come on now.
That's all necromancy.
And when I think about
Okay.
going back to the science, the physicists of it, when it goes back to time relativity, that's what they was trying to do. They said, okay, when Einstein was trying to measure time, he said that you got 2 time points. You got a continuous time, so we'll take the ticking clock. So imagine the ticking clock that has kinetic energy.
Right.
The other time is the one that doesn't have kinetic energy. It's a dead clock. It would be one that would I guess you would just say it's a stopwatch. So like what you said though, how time has stopped and you put it back in motion forward instead of us going counterclockwise.
Oh, that's at the.
towards
Oh, you
time.
talking about? Oh, yes. You talking about the wheel going backward,
Yes,
forward?
sir.
Because all religions are actually operating counter God or counterclockwise per se.
Yes,
And
sir.
and
Yes, sir.
and what did you say about forward thinking or
I,
turning the clock around and what I was doing, making it go back the other
that
way?
was
Go
yes,
ahead.
sir, making it move forward because with the whole study of Einstein and what they did with going into the Manhattan Project and just
Yes.
going taking it out, not even just the atom bomb. This would be their whole, like you say, time relativity and how they were saying, okay, 75 million years, whatever they want to do.
Right.
You know, it's to say that it came from them, from Einstein figuring out with the gravity. So he said he got this from gravity and stuff like that or whatever. You know, trying to figure it out. But what I
Well,
was
the
trying to say
whole world is
this,
based off of Einstein's theory, but go ahead. I just want people, I want
yes,
to
sir,
let people
correct.
know that AI or Albert Einstein's theory is the set world in which you believe in and
Yes,
how
sir.
the world operates and all of that, which is counterclockwise, counter the which creates
The will of God.
which actually we're talking about the will of God here, and which actually create a stoppage of time and a dividing of good and evil and time and like what is that called? This the Terminator, the solar Terminator.
A solar terminator. Yes, sir. It
Boom.
brings in. It's actually been the solar year, and how again, it just what you're saying too. He brought in it brought in a dead time. So what he did is when he stopped time, it brought in death. It brought in sin. So where we've been
Bingo.
trapped in a dead,
You
a
in a
twilight
dead
zone, and
state,
then going to
a twilight zone.
the
Say it
dead
again.
matrix.
Say it again. A dead
We
state, a twilight zone.
we
All of this is real,
a
family.
twi-
Go ahead.
the black, like you said, the black woman's womb, a dead womb. We're in a dead womb when we can be in the father's womb, which is a real matrix. So, like you say, you explained it well, and when people research and expound on what you're saying, I appreciate you giving us a chance to come on here and talk about it. So I really appreciate you. But again, yes, sir, we are caught up in non-compos mentis because we are actually with all our sciences and mathematicals and our diplomas of Deaf Squared and all of these things that's working against the Father's time and against His will, the one true time. Instead of us creating all of these our own times, it has placed us in the allegory in the law and taken us out of that heirloom, out of
Out of
that
standing.
airship, and placed,
Yes. Yes.
come
Go
on now,
ahead. Go
and
ahead.
placed us in a mind. So, like you said, it placed us in this minor estate. So, I'm gonna read this real quick.
Go
And
ahead.
hold on one second. So, it's gonna be first. There is this no nation of Black Americans, nor is there a Black American in any documented record the world over. Black Americans are what is referred to in law as a misnomer or collectively misnomers. As you well know, grammatically, Black is an adjective and it is not a proper noun. Socially and politically, Black implies civil little mortis, which means
Ah,
dead in the eyes of
of
the
the
law.
law.
Black American, yes, sir. Black American is not a nationality, nor is it a nation. There's therefore Black has no political interest nor powers in the free national constitution that was prepared for all free national beginnings. So that even goes back to the communistic, socialist, nationalist, to where when they brought it all together, the United Nations, a confederacy, they made sure to exclude us out of their contract and compact that they made together and made us dead in law and cut us off from the law and try to place themselves above us and above God, you know? And that's what we're living in right now, man. And
Above the will of God.
come on now. Yes, sir. Above God's law. They try to place themselves in the heaven. Yes, sir. And like I say, even when I think about it in the Manhattan
So
Project
Loki,
and the
so Loki
I'm
has been in power. Let me give it the grand Kev man, the Kev Rowe University perspective on my
yes, sir.
breakdown here. Loki became king in the early 1900s.
Yes, sir.
That's when all the destruction happened. If you watch Loki, he had to go back to the 1900s to find he who remains a black inventor.
Mm-hmm.
Before, and they trying to change up time. They need him to 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 do it because they have no access at all. So the only thing
Right.
Loki can do is what? Destroy it. They sent the black dude to do it again. He just melted into space spaghetti.
What that was his whole basis. Just keep going, but there was his whole basis to say, I can't accept the real time of God of will. I gotta
Right.
make my own time. I
Right.
gotta destroy it.
But I
Come on
need
now, I'm
God
listening.
to do it. So I got to go back in time before time, get him, and then walk him through it, convince him to do the shit because he really don't know nothing. This is Adam. This is Mr.
Come on,
Timely
man.
here.
Dang.
You feel me?
Yes,
so
sir.
so he working with Adam. He got to
You breaking
convince
it down.
Adam.
I'm
Yeah,
seeing
he
it.
got to convince
Yes, sir.
Adam, and the girl got to convince Adam in her necromancy as they are both using enchantment to do what? To make him fall in love with him. To do all type to do this so they can be
Come on,
wife
man.
of the throne or queen of the throne or this one and that one, like he don't know what's going to fuck on. But he's due.
And
They
I want
just
to say
don't
this
know.
as you continue to finish.
Go ahead.
Look, Professor, because you just made me. I only seen 30 minutes, but that's how I know you are the one, and you know you are the redeemer and advocate. Because I only seen 30 minutes, but you helped me realize at the end of the show, you know, when they got everything completed, they say, hey, yeah, we set him in a time to where he could have went back and created this whole grand scheme of things we needed, but rather he lived on his life just working as a regular person. And that helps me think about what you're saying about the Twilight Zone. Instead of him being somebody that can create something so great, they placed him back in the time at the end of the Loki show. They placed him in a time frame where he's only doing something minor with his life, which is not nothing wrong. It's just to say that they took him out of his greatness
Yes.
and made Adam, I would say, to me, dead. So it's not like he's the original Adam, the creator. He's not the creator junior. He's just like what they want him to be, that commercial creator, you know. And it's like, but man, it's crazy. With the enchantment too. Hit him with all that enchantment, made him do their will instead of God's will, and then
Boom.
placed him in the dead state at the end. I said, man, come on now.
But it's all their story. And anything else?
Nah, sir, that's it, champ. I call back in.
My man, whenever you want to, man. My man. So yeah. So you've been in this Loki's world the whole time. Space and time in Wonderland. That whole belief system is what? Saturnalia. Sound familiar? It's the same thing they said about Constantine, but it's right here. Backward thinking. They invented a broken wheel. How to break the clock. This is why. This is what Odin. This is what the sickle and Father Time and all of this is about. The allegorical sense that people believe in. So I gotta go there with a lot of people. That's where this stuff comes from. All religion is one religion. And you are in one world religion, and you either a Catholic or something that the Catholic Church have created to be the synthetic spirituality system within this dead state, which is a dead faith, a dead text, a dead religion, a dead everything. And you got to be dead to be a part of a dead nation. Cavro University on the air. What up?
Good morning, Professor. This is Big Two calling in.
What's up, champ?
I was watching that show, and whenever they went back to what do you call that? The World Fair,
Yes.
and I saw that when they went back in time, and they gave him that book. And soon as I saw that, I thought about you. And this was like a few months ago. And that's what got me back to the show. Like, I'm serious. Back to the school.
All right.
Had already been
as
seeing-
they say on the East Coast, talk your shit. The little book reminded, I got you. Because I'm going to tell you something, Big Two. You're not the only one who said that, but go ahead.
And I was sitting there, and I'm like, man, all this stuff I'm seeing, and some of the stuff I don't really want to watch, but I watch Loki. You know,
Right.
I watched the first one and the second, and then my wife like, oh, you want to watch Flash? And I'm like, well, I want to watch. I don't like all this stuff. So I watch Flash. So Flash was another thing where they actually going backwards in time. Basically, he was trying to save his mama's life and bring her back. You know,
Right.
bring her back so he could do some stuff. So it was a bunch of stuff that kept on dealing with time. Keep on going backwards in time. And the black man, they trying to take him and kill him off in almost everything. The Black Adam show that they put up there with whatever his name
The
was.
Rock.
The
The
Rock.
Rock.
The Rock. The Black Adam. And I'm like, man, what is all this telling me? This repeat over and over and it keep going. And whenever I seen that World Fair, I was like, I gotta see because what Kev talking about because that's the last part that I left off from the classroom. Almost a year and a half ago, almost 2 years.
Right.
You know, Professor, I've been in the bungalow.
Right.
I've been in the bungalow in the hole, not coming up there trying to breathe nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because my own indifferences.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
But God still got me on this wavelength path, and I'm like, Cal, right about all this stuff, and this is the stuff I've been picking up and just constantly preaching around the people that I'm around me, man. That man, you gotta watch what you're doing and what you speak and do around people. Period. Because all this atom bombing, you know, you can't even. How can I say this? The atom bombing. People are so triggered. People need counseling and all this other different stuff because they're going crazy.
Well, a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know. So, you know, and they not gonna know. A lot of people ain't gonna be here tomorrow. So the only thing I can do is work on who's in front of me, which is my classroom. You know what I'm saying? I wish everybody can come to class, but you know, I ain't spending not a nada. You know, if you don't understand, you should be asking questions. And if you can't hear or nothing like that, and you don't know how to stop doing bad things, now is not the time to be wanting some damn sympathy on why you can't stop doing bad things. We here in science class. Tell me about the neurological, what you saw in Loki, and how did he become God of the pineal gland or the brain?
Well, Loki, what I saw with Loki, like you said, he went into smithereens. He was trapped. He was trapped in time trying to get Adam to do something that he wasn't supposed to be doing to begin with. You know, they was constantly trying to stop time to get him to do what they wanted to do. And y'all just discussed that live on the air, you know, and I can't break it down no better than what y'all done
Why
already
did you
did.
what made you think of the little book? What about the little book?
The book was something from the future time that already existed, like present day. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is present day.
Yeah.
Now I got to go backwards and tell this Negro over here that he is God while he's trying to create some stuff.
Right.
And he's just a child.
Right.
He's a child with a
He's
very, very the golden child. I'm
yes.
gonna put it to you like that.
Go ahead.
The golden child. You know, to go to him and corrupt him at an early age.
Go ahead.
You know, to influence him and got him going in the path that they wanted to go on.
Go ahead.
They got him out there running around like a criminal.
Go ahead.
Doing all this mischief.
Just
stealing,
off balance.
Just to try and
just
eat.
Off balance. Or
just
even
off,
just put up and just put the fuck up and out the way. Go ahead.
Yes. And got him manipulating him all the way through.
Damn
watching
his
him and
life.
dictating every move he make. You know, and they got satellites doing that with us right now.
Yeah.
The exact same thing.
Yeah.
Each and every individual.
But don't worry about
that.
Don't worry about that. No. You not. This is Adam, the one that's in the movie, in the show. Not each and everybody.
Yes.
Stay right there with him. The story is about him. Stay right
Adam.
there.
Him.
Yeah. Forget Tyrone and Pookie and them around. We talking about this guy
who the book it relates to, who they have to go back in time to. Because right now, y'all all a part of the TVA, but nobody matters as much as
The TVA.
yeah, no, the USA or whatever you want to call it. But nobody matters as much as that little black person who the book refers to.
Nobody else matters. Nobody else
Well,
but
yeah,
them.
not in there.
And
Not saying that people don't matter, but when it comes to changing and altering the world or the universe, this person matters the most. Go ahead.
and it seemed like to me whenever I seen that, I'm like, is this the Bible they trying to hand him and then deceive him? Because they know the Bible already.
But he's in it.
That's what
But
I
he's the creator of it.
But he's in the Bible.
Yeah,
He's in
so
the Bible,
they got to
and
catch
trying
him. They got to catch him as a young man,
get him
have
away.
a pre-programmed world for him to come into, for him not to know himself. This is how you kill the Messiah. You don't kill him.
Right
You
there.
actually set his path already preordained, so he's a criminal or he's this, and his view on history
On a
is this,
different path.
and yeah, his life is this, and this is what this is, and this is what it has
that's-
to be preordained. Go ahead.
And that's when I seen that, I'm like, I need to get back to class. I said I need to get back to class with Kev. That's all I said. I said it's revelations reenacting right in our everyday life, and if we're not paying attention, we miss it because they put it right in front of our face.
So what is science?
all the
So
time.
what is science? I think I'm back on now. So yes. So it's not as theoretical as they think or something like this isn't a cartoon. What they're saying is real, but you got to understand their space, time, and travel, discovering new things. It's all one big program, MK Ultra Mind Control. And guess what? You're in it. You're inside that little Disney ball, golf ball that's in the middle of the Disney, because that's your pineal gland. That's your world. Press one. And I want you to know the seat of the soul and the pineal gland is one and the same, and it is your brain. Say it with me. My pineal gland is my brain. The seat of the soul is my brain. Okay? So you don't have to feel so like oh, it's some special thing. No, it's your brain. It's your brain. And your brain look like space. In fact, space and your brain look exactly alike. And we're going to get into that. How space and your brain look exactly alike. And it looks just like the neuron base of a computer. But we're going to get in. It's the same thing as a computer in the digital. And how all these different. See, the computer is a simulated brain. So we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. But first, I have to break down Universe 25. Can we do that? Because this is the study of Universe Bank Day Cinco. This thing is tripping me out today, man. I'm not getting no action. Something don't want me to live stream today. Don't want me to live stream or nothing. To pull up my videos or nothing. It just YouTube is acting like a piece of crap with me today. My whole computer. I think I got to shut it down. So fine, we'll get into that a little later. I end up coming back and playing Universe 25, the programming of that thereof was said was actually getting that. I was gonna play a video, but my computer is bugging out and it doesn't want to do it. So, Somebody said create monkey mind. Well, that all comes from Universe 25, Epcot program, the mechanical mother, thus being the Statue of Liberty, freedom, and all of these other false senses of, and you look inside of the statues and there's nothing, there's no real heart, there's no real spirit, you know? So this is, in my opinion, the digital age is as far as you go. You're gonna find out in this age, in this era, what it's all about. And I don't think a lot of people, just like in Loki, can handle the truth. Press one. I don't think people are really ready. You know what the temporal loom problem was that Loki and them said that made them destroy it? It wasn't a problem at all. The temporal loom was a safe gate, a safeguard against too many lies, too many false storylines, too many in law, too many immigrants, too many names taken, too many false names and storylines given to people where they were able to live out the blessings of God in somebody else's name. The whole world takes part in it because they all believe in this concept, this Loki analogy, where you must remain dead, sleep in a dead state, call yourself dead. Doesn't matter. And if you do, well, you won't wake up. They were banking on you ever never waking up, let alone myself. And what do I mean by waking up? I'm just coming into the knowledge of this world is not what I thought it was. Hit the like button and subscribe. It's just not what I thought it was. You know, discovering myself helped me realize the fight was much deeper and much sooner in the timeline than I thought. They went to the world fairs, y'all. And we got to get this inventor here before he becomes. But then they had to find out. There's nothing you can do about it. So Loki said, we're going to destroy the timeline and connect all the branches through me, and I'm king. Cavro University on the air, what's up?
Bro, you're not a king. You don't got no solution, man. You just all talk, bro. Shut up, bro. Every time you wake up, subscribe.
That's right. I like YouTube. I like being able to convey my mind and have people like yourself always watching and tuned in and waiting on me to appear and get some of this truth and this knowledge. Press one classroom. So what's on your mind? Why don't you teach us something today, champion? Why don't
Class
you do
action lawsuit. Class action.
well, say something pertaining to the class. We get that. I like that somebody said God has foundation. The word, the promise, the faith, all does. It all means something. It's not just wake up and take part in necromancy. He just broke down how it's necromancy. Everything that we've been doing has been necromancy. This is what Jesus was throwing over the tables for. He found out that Peter and them was worshiping and taking part in Canaan and commerce and the selling of God's word and his blessing, blah, blah, blah. They had to come against that. That's blasphemy. They'd get you hung. Stand the curse. They had to. Like we all know, the United States government in its treaty in itself was only here. It's only here to have criminals billed for the rest of the world. This is what the trick is. They're legal because they're you can't say, oh, see, everybody that's a 13th and 14th Amendment citizen is a dead citizen. If you're my color, you're dead. You black, you're dead. Dead in law. So anybody calling you black is an operative of the state. If they're foundationally black, they are against you. If they're Black Lives Matter, that's an advocacy for the dead, which is why they were doing all of those ritualistic behaviors. They were it's all enchantment and demonology around what it needs to feed. So now it's just eating itself. George Soros and all of that is a part of that. Candace Owens, George Soros, Black Lives Matter, they're all one. Okay? Whether they know it or not, part of one big gluttonous pig. So science is necromancy. It's a dead state. It's a dead faith. There's no spirituality in it. And it's about enchantment. And that's how you worship this stuff. And it's been going on long before you was born. So that your little tattoos don't mean nothing. I'm just helping people realize what they are in. Necromancy. And working counter clockwise against God. For what? To prolong judgment. Why? Because Loki, or the devil, or the king of this world, don't want to stand judged. That's why. For what? Everything he did. He destroyed the will of God. And he tried. Press 1. See? This is easy for me. That's why. So y'all celebrate the false timelines by way of Loki, the devil. And y'all can put him up as Christ if you want to. You should. Because he gave you, Loki has a limited time. He was told that. You got a limited time. He said, well, don't worry. Loki's plan is to deceive and kill off as many variants of our children of God, prospectively. You see? The variants are people of God as he can. That's his. You are in a world where the outside world's God and its savior. This is their, whatever they want to describe as their God. With the beetle horn, like the Egyptian, that's Loki. So that's death, everything that comes with that. It was always for Loki to be in your mind and for Adam to praise Loki or Satan worship or Satan science or the Hermetic principle, whatever you want to call it, over God and place planets in the heavens as gods and name them after your gods and this one and that one. Hit that like button and subscribe. They're telling you that. I'm bugging like, wow, a whole scientific study behind it. And why not? Why not? I'm glad Big Two was able to see all that. But what did you learn? Give me the enchantment. Give me the demonology in it. Because enchantment is demonology. So in order to deceive Adam, we got to get him involved. We got to get them involved in enchantment and demonology. For that is the heart of the TVA. That is what's empowering their power. Your enchantments to foreign gods and demonology. This is all against God. And if black men look around to this day, they can look at their women and say, you're an enchanter. I know y'all don't want to admit the truth. I know you don't want to admit the truth. Oh, you're an enchanter. You're a channeler. You do all of this stuff. This is the world y'all come from. Somebody said a contract with the dead state. But yeah, that makes you a Moor. If you a Moor, you're under the Pope. Press 1. You adhere to the contract, you expatriate to assimilate and then pretend to live as a sovereign. It's the only way a black person can live as white is to expatriate, to repatriate as a handshake bargain sellout. That's what the friendship handshake is for. Let your yeses be your yeses. That's what the hands behind your back and the betrayal and all of that is for. So in my world, if God comes back, he gonna say all the Moors will be your gangbangers. Those will be your people out here turning you against who you are in your name and against the scripture and the law. Anything outside of the law and the word and the original timeline of who you are. You see, who you are is as the people of the Bible. It gives the timeline of the Bible closer than we thought. And it's really about the fall of Adam and the restoration of Adam and the family. The Adam's family, you get it? They was dead. Remember black and white? Remember? That their whole plan was that to pull you out of your dementia, which was your belief in God, something external like that, like your faith in God and the will of God and stuff like that, and make everything external through astrology, taking astronomy and making astrology, just taking you into a wonderland of a life. You feel me? So what we're going to be doing here, make sure everybody is up to date on Patreon at $30 because this is what we're doing here. This is what we're doing here. At least $1 a day so you can take part in the chats and the call-in service. I'm going over to Coffee and Kush Show. That's where I'm gonna be at from here on out. I'm gonna be cutting up videos and stuff here and doing videos, but mainly just starting my new broadcast, and we're gonna be talking about the neuroscience, the mind of Adam. We're gonna be breaking this stuff down, this trauma and how this will actually works by way of you. These different times and trauma that we're all collectively a part of because we were all sold boys in the hood. We were all sold this one and that one. So it's a great thing to have people from Universe 25 wake up to their own mind control, to their own MK Ultra, to their own Holocaust, to their real reality on God's time. Coffee and Kush TV, Kevro University. You on the air? What up?
Hey, what's going on, Kel? This B calling in, man.
What's up, B?
I was calling about that Loki show.
Yeah, what up?
Man, it's so much in there, but it's everything that we've been talking about, but from it's like the perspective of Loki or the devil.
Yes, there you go. Know? There you go. Talk to us.
Yes, sir. Now, even when it comes to history, they all right. First, they started off with he had to get his brain scanned, you know, to see his talk about the temporal aura and everything. All right. Then I noticed that the whole thing, TVA, they were talking about the TVA and what do they call it? Time variant something. But then in history, they had the TVA, the Tennessee Valley Authority, where they were. I thought about King George. All of that was King George's, and they took all of that and stole, you know, part of the theft. They had the symbol for the TVA on the show,
it was the hourglass. I noticed that too. Where you got they on Chronos time, you know, something else. Oh, when they went back uh for the guy who they call He Who Remains, they went back, and when they went back to like the World Fair, Chicago. Um, they showed the Ferris wheel. Um, Also, they were showing. He said something when he was. I don't know if you remember the part where he was like in his little house and they was coming after him, and he escaped. He said something about he had a place in Wisconsin, and when he said that, I said, "Oh, okay, that's easy." You know that Wisconsin made me think about Ezekiel Gillespie when he was you know
I
he
understand exactly what you saying. He was the first one there that
yes sir the
that
first one
created
first,
Wisconsin pretty much. He the first one to vote there.
yes sir exactly. I said, man, they putting everything in this series like in an allegory form, but it's real stuff. I said, wow, bro. Man, that Ferris wheel where they had the big fight and everything where
Yeah.
they was trying to kill him and everything using magic, using enchantment
Yes.
and skipping timelines and everything. I'm like, man. Then it was just so much, bro. I'm like, man, bro, it's a lot. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know if y'all read the definition. Did you read the definition of enchantment?
Go ahead, read it again.
Okay. All right. I'm in 1828. We got enchantment. The act of producing certain wonderful effects by the invocation or aid of demons,
Go ahead.
or the agency of certain supposed spirits. The use of magic arts, spells, or charms, incantations. Incantation. Okay. Now we got a scriptural quote from Exodus 7:11.
Go ahead.
Uh, the magicians of Egypt did so with their enchantments. All right. We got irresistible influence, overpowering influence of the light, the warmth of fantasy, which holds the heart of a reader under the strongest enchantments. So I'm like, wow, bro. It's like even the definition, and we talking about enchantments and how our people is under enchantments is a strong influence with fantasy. All this stuff is fantasy because it's not the real reality. Or like even if we use the example of the
Yeah,
movie, they
so
were
the type of God in Christianity we was taught by our grandmamas and mamas is actually demonology and is enchantment and is put into a scientific allegorical form rather than law in a way to serve God correctly and pass rights and heirlooms down by way of the son, which is then handed over to the state now that all the sons are dead in law. Now, sir, what is temporal loom to you?
temporal loom will
Yes.
be how your mind thinks. Like
Okay.
your mind,
Okay.
how your mind perceives what your reality is. That's
Wow.
how I see it.
Okay.
Like we know if your mind is caught in enchantment, like they scanned it. If we listen to a person and with how they speak is gonna be how they think. Now we can see, all right, how you think. This how you think it is. If I get an example of what we were talking about the other day with Einstein's theory of how the world is and the stars and outer space. We know you under enchantment by scanning your temporal aura, your mind, how your
So
mind is.
so
Or if you,
who's sitting at the seat of the soul, which would be the brain, correct?
Correct.
Go ahead.
Okay. Who's sitting at the seat? And just say any person, just an example of a person who's sitting at the seat is going to be how you perceive it. Are you looking at the way God intended, the way the scriptures say it is, or do you believe in enchantment and a warm, like the definition, a warm fantasy, which holds the heart of, or what it say, holds the heart of the reader under strong enchantment. So, are you looking at it? What your perspective? Are you looking at it through the way God got it, or through science, or these different variations of the true reality? That's how I see it.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm like, what do they call like the not? I'm thinking mainstream, the original, the what do they say, the sacred? They call it the sacred
The
something.
sacred timeline.
That sacred timeline,
Yeah.
kill.
Ain't
And I
that
said, man, when they
go
that's what
ahead.
you've been
Go.
showing us.
Ain't that what
Like
I've been
this,
teaching the people about the timeline?
yes, sir.
That's
I'm like,
crazy.
man, that's why. I'm like, man, they saying the sacred timeline, and then they trying to distort the state. They trying
They
to
have
stop
to
what.
live within a false into reality or within the branches of a false timeline to even exist. They have to
Yes,
what do I
sir.
say? They have to live in time immemorial. Because in real
Yes,
time,
sir.
they don't exist.
Don't
Neither do your African story, neither. Nothing exists on this timeline in which I'm proving in which the fall occurred.
yes, sir. Even when I looked up, of course, I'm like, all right, what is Loki come from and all of that? That comes from uh, uh like Odin and the Norse thing. And I started looking like, when was this? What's the timeline on this? All of this is like, it's a story. They said it's let me see where I got it. They said it's a story. They try to put it in time immemorial, just to be just straight with it. All right. They say the 13th century, then it come from they refer to Loki and something called a poetic Edda. And the poetic Edda, they don't know who wrote it. And I'm like, okay, wow, bro, this is straight up time immemorial. So the whole Odin, Loki, and all the other characters, it was really, when I started looking it up, this was made up. Like the people start using references to this in like the 1800s, um, the 1800s. And I said, wow, bro, this ain't nothing but another comic book theory that they trying to push over what the scripture is. And
Just try to it
yes,
ain't even I'm gonna be honest with you, like
yes, sir.
chemistry and these different words. It's hard to find a lot of these words in the 1828, bro, because these are
Right,
necromancy words, bro. And so the words
right.
that you
Yes,
do
sir.
find are spelled with a letter off instead of the e as the I or something that's still the same word, different letter. But I'm finding out like chemical and chemistry and alchemical breakdown. This is all foreign.
Illusion.
Yeah, it's all illusion.
Yes,
There you go.
yes, sir.
Let,
Even when I looked up, no, go ahead.
let me read brain right now. Properly, the forepart of the head are sinciput. Also, the brain. The soft whitish mass are viscous, enclosed in the cranium or skull, in which the nerves and spinal marrow terminate, and which the supposed to be the seat of the soul or intelligent principle in man. It is divided among into the right and the left hemisphere, and below into six lobes. It is composed of a cortical substance, which is external, and a medialary, which is internal. From the brain proceed 9 pair of nerves and are distributed principally to the head and neck. 2, the understanding. 3, the affections, fancy, imagination. Um, wow. Go ahead.
Wow. Wow.
So the seat
Yes,
of the
sir.
soul is the brain, bro.
Is the brain. Even when I looked up temporal, when I first started watching
So
this,
that's where Loki will exist, right?
in their mind.
In the
Yes, sir.
temporal loom.
Yes, sir. And when they said temporal loom,
Go
I
ahead.
went and I looked up like, okay, what is temporal loom? And it sent me to something called the temporal lobe. And this is, you know where your temple is on the
Yes.
side of your brain,
Yes.
the sides. It says, they showed a diagram of the different sections. It's a section on the side of your brain where your temple is, and they colored it green. And they colored it green, and that's where that's where it is, where your temples, on the side of your brain. And they got like people with distorted temples, temporal lobes. Like they got something called a temporal lobe epilepsy, like you having seizures.
Yes.
Then I thought about that movie, how he kept jumping. What do they call it? He was jumping from
Oh, he was time
place to
shifting.
place.
He was time shifting to go
Yeah,
through that little
time shift. That's
brain
what
little thing. Go
time
ahead.
shifting.
Go ahead.
He having a temporal
He
lobe.
having
That
a
was temporal lobe epilepsy.
wow, that was an epilepsy effect.
Yes, sir. I'm like, man, this is crazy, bro. Like,
Oh
this is
shit.
so he jumping from time to time, and then he, I said, wow, bro, he jumping. Then when I looked up, okay,
Oh, so
uh,
he's actually jumping timelines. So that's like epilepsy. He's actually
yeah,
he can't accept that reality and jumping into I got you. Go ahead.
yes, sir.
Go ahead.
And then it also came together when I looked up, okay, Loki and where it came from. It was talking about Odin and the Norse gods, and then they had it was a little excerpt. It says today most agree that the stones are to be dated. They were talking about the stones where they supposedly found the story of all this, and it was saying supposed to be dated from about 1000 A.D., but the core of the myth can be tracked back to quote unquote the 5th century A.D. or even stronger. But that's time immemorial. And I thought it was funny that they use 1,000 years.
Yes.
So all these stories and all these allegories, that's how they gonna rule for 1,000 years in the
Yes.
sense of it's make believe, bro.
Our
I'm
our
like, wow,
end, the
man.
end of time, being the end of 1,000 years, is merely us waking up and realizing, wait a minute.
This is some BS.
Yes,
Straight up.
because like I never thought about space and time and the mind. Now I'm into neuroscience, the mind of Adam, how they broke us down. You feel me? Because neuroscience is the scientific study of the nervous system, the brain, and the spinal cord, which is attached to what they would call the fucking the kundalini and all of these things. They practice the Kabbalah. Oh my goodness. And
Yes, sir.
they're
Wow.
messing with the nervous system, starting at the base and its functioning disorders. It is a multidisciplinary science that combines physiology, anatomy, molecular biology, development biology, syntology, physiology, physics, computer science, chemistry, medicine, statistics. Medicine to me is chemical based, statistics, and
Yes, sir.
mathematical modeling. This is AI to me to understand the fundamental and urban properties of neurons, glig, and the neural circuits. The understanding of the biological basis of learning, memory, behavior, perception, and consciousness. Ooh, they can make a new monkey.
Yeah, straight up, starting with the mind. And Kev, even you was talking about like, all right, they was talking about all right, the name Loki.
Yes.
It's something to do with loops, loops, like the wheel.
Really?
That's what it made me. Yes, sir.
Really?
All right. And then even in the all right, I'm gonna read this. It says, even talking about air,
Loki's
like
loop. Oh, that's the
yeah,
eternal snake eating the snake in the eternity.
yeah,
Oh my goodness. They need you there.
yes, sir.
Oh my
They
gosh.
need you there. And then it even put air next to the meaning. I'm gonna read this. It
That's
says
where the number 8
Loki.
comes from with that. I apologize, but that's the multiverse re-looping and re-branching itself within like a grapevine. Go ahead,
Yes,
champ.
sir. All right. Then it's talking about using. All right, the name. I'm gonna read this. It says
Oh my
Loki
goodness.
is alternatively referred to as Luthor, Loptr, Luthor, which is generally considered derivative from the Old Norse Lopt, Lopt, meaning air, AIR, and therefore points to an association with the air. And I said, "Wow,
H
bro!"
E
I'm
I
like, "Oh,
R. So he's the
they
prince
they
of the
put
air, AIR.
yeah, Kev, yes, that's the scripture that I thought about, and I went
Oh
there.
my goodness.
I said, wow, bro, that makes sense. So when he want, like, even in the series, he wants to make himself a god. You know, they like even in the beginning of the deal, they like, man, you tripping. You know, basically, and then how once they supposedly fixed the timeline where it wouldn't blow up, how he wanted to watch over he or what they call he who remains after they fixed it. You know, to be like a god or
Yes. So he
to
can raise them
to
up and not have them
rule
do.
over him no more.
Yeah, so he was gonna rule over him and not the other way around.
Yes, sir.
That's
All right, then all right, I'm gonna read this last part.
go ahead.
It said, I don't know how to spell it, but I'm gonna just say it the best way I can. It says the name Havrorger, Old Norse roarer, is also used in reference to Loki, occurring in the names from Hel, Hel.
Yeah, because look, his name word mean Logi, flame. Go ahead. Makes me think
Yes,
of the
sir.
eternal flame in reference to the devil. Go ahead. Remember Statue of Liberty. Blah 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 blah.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. That's what I got on that one. But I'm just looking like all of this stuff they talking about is, man. That's what it is.
He's the
Like all
cursor
these.
of knots, tangles, and loops.
Yes, sir. I read that one too. When it comes to
He's the
loops, so
inventor of
keep
the
everybody in the
fishnet,
loop.
which consists of loops and knots. Wow. Which is why the universe as space is created is like a grid of a fishnet.
Wow, everybody that's under that understanding is caught in the Satan's net
Mingo, the maker of the
mentally.
cobweb, spiders, tangler, etymology. Oh my goodness. This is all etymology, is Old Norse.
Yes, sir. I got the origin. I looked up the origin on here, and I'm gonna read this real quick. And
Okay.
this what made me say, all right, here we go. It says Loki's origin and role in Norse mythology have been much debated by scholars. In 1835, Jacob Grimm was the first to produce a major theory about Loki, in which he he advanced the notion that Loki as the god of fire, like you said. Okay. In 1889, Sophus Bug theorized Loki to be a variant of Lucifer of Christianity, an element
Ah,
of yes, sir.
go ahead. Just like
An-
I said, The
Yes, sir.
devil. Go ahead. go
And
go ahead.
an element of Bug's large effort to find a basis of Christianity in Norse mythology. After World War II,
Go ahead.
four scholarly theories then dominated. The first was of the four is the folk strong, who in 1956 concluded that Loki is a hypothesis of the god Odin. In 1959, John de Veres
Wait a minute.
theorized that
So
Loki.
so so Loki is a younger Odin.
Yeah, he's supposed to be
So
his.
he's like the
According to,
incarnate.
yes, like Norse mythology, they like that's his son. He the son. Like,
So this is
you know
where
what I
this
mean?
is them. They put North mythology in religion and they call that Christianity. Busted.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
And then you see
Busted.
us going back to the
Busted.
1800s. It ain't ancient, you know.
They went to
So
the
yeah,
World's Fair, sir, where we caught them bringing
yes,
in
sir.
Norse mythology and Romanian style Baal worship. Go ahead, King. Go ahead. Continue on. It's a
Yes,
fucking
sir. Okay,
variant of Satan. So y'all watching Loki. The show is called Satan and how he got in your brain. So keep crying, talking about, oh, that was a good show, man, and it changed my life and it helped me under. What it did was help you understand Satan's position because he need a big excuse for what he's done. Go ahead.
okay. It says in 1959, John de Veres theorized that Loki is
Who?
a typical example. John de Vries,
Go ahead.
Vries.
Go ahead.
It says theorized that Loki is a typical example of a trickster figure. Yes, sir. In 1961, by way of excluding all non-Scandinavian mythological parallels in her analysis, and Birgitta Ruth uh, concluded that Loki was originally a spider. And yes, sir. Then we got Anne
Man, y'all
Hawksmart,
worshiping an arachnoid. Go ahead.
Anne Hawksmart, writing in 1962, concluded that no conclusion could be made about Loki. And then they go into identification with it's a different language word, lure. Okay, popular theory proposed by a variety of scholars is that Lura is the third name of Loki or Luke. The main argument for this is that the gods Odin, Horner, and Loki occur as a trio in Hauslaw in the in a prologue to Rignismar, and also in the Loka Tatar. There we go again, Kev.
Tataria.
T-A, yes, sir.
I told you.
Tattur.
That's right.
Yes,
And you
sir.
know who Tatar is? That's the head demon in hell. So let's help y'all understand what I'm saying here. Even though you should have already been understood. You know, you he who remains is gonna get the last laugh in your little movie. Just like in real life, he who lives last laughs. Last is the same thing in this theater of a show y'all call Loki. The same thing. So just remember, y'all y'all give way to Satan, and the way Satan enters you is by way of propaganda in the mind and suggesting these things. And Satan knows his time is limited, just like in the show. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Um, Okay, it says the Odin Kenning Loror friend occur. I mean, furthermore, appears to parallel the Kenning Luther friend, and Loki is similar, referred to as Honor's friend in in Hoslong, strengthening the trio connection. While many scholars agree with this identification, it is not universally accepted. One argument against it is that Loki appears as a malevolent being later in Valkenspa, seeming conflicting to the image of Loror as a mighty and loving figure. Many scholars, including John David Reyes and Georges Damerville, have also identified Loror as being the same deity as Loki. Scholar Hakor Poborzen suggests that Loki and Loror were different names for the same deity, based on that Loki is referred to as Loror in the Rimroar Loki.
So Satan is their god, pretty much. Go ahead.
Yeah, pretty much. They're under different names. Yes, sir. And then it's all coming from people of Norse. This is their belief.
Yes.
You know, like it's foreign. Like you said, it's a foreign belief. So like even these names got me like, you know, that's the way they spell it and everything. But to get the gist of it, they got different variations of Satan that they all agree that this is the same thing. Loki,
those are the branches, the different various branches and sects.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Like they got them one that's being like a lover, like we were seeing when.
Okay, so
on
Satan's
the
government will have the same effect on God's people. It will have branches of government which maintain the order of Loki or Satan or the demon. And it's running like the TVA on autopilot and got you scared of an imaginary God sitting outside the universe when God said he was coming to you.
Yes, sir. Yep. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm like, wow, bro. All of that is like it's right there, you know. So I'm looking like I'm like all of this stuff is like you said, it's a different way for them to tell they demonology story or you know, and it's same thing, it's running parallel to the real story.
Yeah, because Loki is setting himself up as heir. Because it's the temporal loom. This is the theft of heirship.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, like, this is a stolen inheritance, a stolen legacy. This is stolen valor, actually. You are not who you are saying you are. In fact, devil, without me believing you, you're actually powerless. I don't want to take part in your necromancy, so you're powerless. I don't want to take part in your enchantments, so you're powerless. I don't want to be in your industry, powerless.
Exactly. Even on the show, when he first got there to the TVA, it was no magic. They couldn't use him. He couldn't use his magic there.
That's right.
You know? So I'm like, yeah, that's a good example. The TVA is not his. He's a trickster.
He's a trickster.
To get.
It's a failsafe. So he has to get inside the mind before you realize, wait a minute, the law is here to protect me? Yes. Yes, nigga. Yes.
And then
it was put here as a failsafe. They could never see God or the law or real justice, and you won't either believing them.
Exactly. And everything that he was doing was to go against the natural order. Yes, sir. It's one more thing I want to read
Take your
too. It
time,
says,
champ. I'm bugging out because
it's called,
it just hit me. Go ahead.
it said binding under here. Okay. The scholar John
They're all tethered. You know they're all
Lindow.
tethered by way of this. There's no way
Yes,
out of
sir.
this.
Even when they showed that picture of him like getting in between all the streams and
Yes.
tying them together.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
This is the tether. They're all
It's it.
anchored with that right there. They have one ideology. It has to work. It has to be this. And they are children. You either a child of God or a child of Loki in his variants of himself.
It's
Go
straight
ahead.
up.
You
Yes,
like
sir.
you brought up specular time, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I just wanted to make
Yes,
sure.
sir. Yes, sir. Okay. All right. Here we go. It says binding. The scholar John Lindow highlights the reoccurring pattern of the bound monster. It says in Norse mythology as being particularly associated to Loki. Loki and his three children by Andrew Bada. Yeah, Andrew Bada were all bound in the same way and were all destined to break free to Ragnarok. It says to wreak havoc on the world. He suggests a borrowed element from the traditions of the Caucasus region and identifies
Wow.
yes, sir,
So this is their
and
God.
this is their God. Yes,
Yes.
sir, a foreign God. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then it says it identifies a mythological parallel with the Christian legend of the bound Antichrist awaiting the last judgment. So that's
That's
it right
Loki.
there.
This
It's
is
not.
everything. This is it, bro.
It's it. Ain't no way around it. Even they admitting it. It's a parallel to the Antichrist awaiting the last judgment. That was clear. It wasn't. That was real clear. And then it says it's a tradition of the Caucasus region. So yeah, like you were saying, like with people, even the Hebrew Israelites, like going just based on the white man or everything. But if you believe in this stuff, then you are part of the
That's right.
Antichrist.
You
It's
are you
Antichrist.
too, Pharisee.
Yeah, you an Edomite too
You
by
a
belief.
Edomite too by way of belief, bro. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You proved that. You said it and you improved it. It's proven again. You know? Yeah, okay. I thought my phone went off.
No, bro.
Yeah, it's proven once
I'm
again. So
bugging, bro. This is like it's true.
and even with me, like, bro, I didn't I wanted to know. So I say, man, the homework assignment is watch Loki. I'ma sit down and watch it, bro. And I'm like, wow, it was so much even from the beginning that based on everything you told us and then taught us, like, wow, bro, it's all there. They just putting it in allegory form. Really,
Yes.
thanks you helping us to understand
The
how
science.
what y'all worship.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm breaking what we do. What I found out. This is why I changed the show up just a tad. Is like, they. This is all neuroscience, space, Albert
Yes, sir.
Einstein, relativity, the destruction of atom, neuroscience, biology, chemistry, alchemy. Like, what the fuck? And each one of
And
these. Go ahead, champ.
yes, sir. And then everything like you just named, all of these things is like what everybody they think that they smart with all of this stuff, but it's just
They
a variant.
practice necromancy. They practice this at the highest level as a collective, and it makes them feel good to know they have
Yep.
spirituality at least with the devil with Loki.
And even when we just read the definition of enchantment, like it said that the they gonna feel I'm gonna read it real quick. Hold on, Cause that's it right there. Hold on one second. I'm pulling back up. It said, oh, right here. Even with enchantment, it says, irresistible influence, overpowering influence of delight.
Wow.
So the warmth
Ignorance
of
is
fantasy.
bliss.
Yes, sir. The warmth of fantasy, which holds the heart of a reader under the strong enchantment.
Damn.
So they feel
Under the
that's
strong.
it.
So who's the ruler under the strong enchantment? Loki.
Loki.
We got y'all
Dang,
ass.
bro. For real. Like you said, too smart for your own good.
Yeah,
You
because the
tripping.
devil is a trickster. He wanted to trick Jesus into thinking he can give him the whole world. When it was
But it's
his,
already
it's already his. So to put it into context, Loki is trying to take something and control something that is an heirloom to somebody else, a descendant of the original. So going back in time, trying to kill God or raise God as a new child, you can't outdo something that's already written. This is prophecy. So God will return on earth as a child, probably in some democratic ass neighborhood somewhere, in a meaning, and you want to lead him into where? Into you being his father, like the Truman Show? Of course not.
That's exactly what it is.
As you said in The Devil's Advocate, worship that never. Press one. Yeah. Absentee landlord is what you said. Well, that's
Yes,
what
sir.
you are. Go ahead, King, because we find God by finding out just how much of a deceiver you really are. Go ahead, King.
Yeah, I'm looking like wow, bro. Like that part when after they went and got him from the 1800s in the show, and he's supposed to fix the timeline for him so it wouldn't blow up everything.
No, but it blew up. It still blew up.
Yeah, it still blew up, but yeah, it's nothing you can do.
Nope.
Like you can try as
He
hard
said
as
it's
you
a
can,
scaling. He said it's a scaling issue. They was trying to fix something else. They was trying to fix the loom.
Right.
The loom is fail safe. It's not. It's not a scaling problem. It's that no false timelines can exist. So what do Loki do? Destroy the kingdom. He destroy everything, and with a new false sense of timeline, immemorial, 1,000 years of make believe storyland, wonderful shit on how you became a citizen on God's land. Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
And then even with that loom, like you said, that 1,000 years, you trying to stretch time so you can get away from judgment, and it's impossible.
Wow.
That's
So
impossible.
God bet on himself that he will be reborn under your mind control, come out of that and call you a liar to your face, only to say what? I told you so. I told you so.
Exactly. Even when they saw him in that castle.
Good job, champ. Good job, champ. Ain't that what he told him?
Yes, sir.
When Loki killed God, he said when he killed him, he said, "See you soon, champ."
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Straight told him to their face, "See you soon,
champ."
Yes, sir.
Champ.
And he said, "Champ."
He called him a champion. You know what you know what this is.
I ain't gonna even lie. I was like, "Oh yeah, they know." They playing. They know. And the way he said it, like champ, like yeah, kill. I'm like, yeah, they.
I told
they
yes.
definitely
Remember the word champion in New York broke the building and it was a crane. The crane symbolizing the stork and all of these things. I'm trying to tell you. It's playing out in propaganda. And if you don't understand the media, then you won't understand spellcasting. I'm watching them cast spells on you, and I'm telling you before they do it because it's running through 0 point, per se.
Yes, sir. You definitely are. All this stuff is that it's distractions to keep you away from the proper understanding. Yes, sir.
A lifestyle of distraction. That's what the MK Ultra neuroscience is based on. The distraction. You have to be distracted. Billions of dollars is pumped into you believing the distraction is life and you finding comfort with the repetitive trauma over and over and over again. Shut up, bitch. Boom, boom. What nigga gonna wake up today and die? You now living in a goddamn maze runner. This is all a part of Loki's destruction. He don't even know what he's doing. He set himself to be an heir, and him in heirship, and they being the children of the devil is stand corrected. They are citizens, correct, of liberty, correct, sons and daughters of liberty, correct.
Yep. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
well, they serve the only thing that allows them to be sovereign or experience what it is to be black in real life. So just like in the movie Get Out, when you get the camera flash, and you got his time to wake up, and you say, "Get the fuck out of here." That's what's happening. You gotta. It's all in your mind. The devil's world is within. Remember, if God's kingdom is within, what you think Loki doing? Loki said, "I know what I
He
got to
trying to
do.
get in there.
I got to destroy it." The black man said, "We got too many people. I got too many. It's too much. I don't care. He's gonna destroy everything to live false." And that's the
Yeah,
TV.
and they
Yes.
remind me of that one character. I don't know the name of the character, but but like, all right, in his timeline, he was famous. Everybody in the room, all the ladies wanted him.
Brad,
This
you
boy
talking about
betrayed
Brad?
everybody. Yeah, I'm like, look at this, that shit right there. He wanted the fame, and hey, I'm famous. I'm balling.
I got
All the
clout.
ladies love me.
Come on, bro. They like, but it's
And the
not
police,
real. He like, man,
it's not
fuck that
real.
shit.
He betrayed all of them. You
Everybody.
remember?
Yes.
He betrayed everybody
Fuck him.
just to get back to his false reality.
Yeah.
I said, wow.
That's like
bro.
Cyrus in the
That-
Matrix.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember, he just met with the agent. And what was the agent purpose though? What was he trying to do? He was trying to escape the Matrix. Nigga, you not going nowhere.
You're not going nowhere.
No, you're not escaping the Matrix. The Matrix is designed for you, for your ass to sink in that motherfucker. Because we don't live in a matriarch. Our natural state is the patriarch. That's why it's the Patriots. That's what makes revolution. We just discussed what revolution was.
Yes, sir.
Revolution of the mind.
Of the mind.
And so if Satan can get you to see from his perspective and not enter a dead state, God will do the same thing. It's just a changing of perspective. Once you do that, revolution occurs. 100 monkey syndrome. Boom, 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 boom. You see? But that's why Satan has a hold on all branches of what you're under. The federal government. That made you a criminal. And you have to remain a criminal. And black in law. So that we may speak for you. Loki is like the bar. Ain't that what the Devil's Advocate was about? The Bar Association and who else? Kevin. Hit the like button and subscribe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The Bar Association itself is an instrument of Satan, the devil. Because because you're not go ahead. Keep you barred from what?
From the law.
Yes, right. God's law. Common law.
Level. God. Yes, sir.
Not Canaan law. You a Canaanite. You a person of the ocean, of the sea.
I'm like, man, bro. Just for them even doing that show, Kel, made me think, like, they are still trying, they ain't trying, they doing, like, enchanting in the mind. But if you have a proper perspective, you can see them. You giving us the proper perspective.
Why do you think? Well, that changes the world. If I can get you to see my perspective on time and being frozen, the moment you defrost, Iceland melts and fire everywhere.
Exactly the same region where they ideals supposedly came from with the
So
North
that
and the
means
Vikings
Nordic.
and the
That's
mythology.
all that Scandinavian gods and Nordics. Only then it looks like we just do more of that and put an end to their false gods, and then it'll play out in propaganda. Oh, this happened today. Whatever, however it plays out. Just know that it's a dream world. It is not real. And it's anything, just like the show, anything not according to the timeline ain't supposed to be there.
Yep, it ain't gonna exactly. It's gonna disappear right before your eyes, just like
Right.
they disappear in the false dream world. It's boom, out of there.
It's gonna wiggle away like spaghetti. Trust me, these immigrants is going home too. That just crossed the border, beating up the boat.
Straight up, just like spaghetti.
You know what the funny thing about it was? Nobody gonna say this.
What's that?
Is the fact that they sent the black dude out there and he turned into spaghetti. Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that fucked up all their plans. And then they had to go back and get it. And he finally put it up there just to find out it's still gonna blow up, right? So Loki,
No matter what
they do. So Loki goes back to He Who Remains, basically like, what the fuck, man? You know,
I can't break the code.
So yeah,
no matter what I do, I can't do it. You can't do it.
So
that's why he told him, like, I'll see you later.
Yeah, so He Who Remains pretty much tells him, like, that not only that he can't do it, is that it's fail proof. It's safe. It's a safe, you know. It's safe. It's a safeguard against you. And it's goddamn false perception. It's going to fall out. You know, and for him,
it's inalienable, sir.
Facts. It's inalienable. So he's like, fuck it, I'll just raise them as my boy, remain trustee. Like, what the fuck?
Hey, that's exact. Yes, sir. You said it. I was like, man, you said it, man. That's exactly what that.
Yeah, I'll just
what
raise
that
him
meant
as
to
my
me
own,
myself.
and he'll worship me. And it's just like the Job moment. Okay, well, go ahead, and boom.
That's exactly what it was, Kill. I'm like, wow, they actually but they put this in their show, not knowing that the proper perspective is here.
Yes.
The spirit of truth is here. And we gonna see you. You did it, now we see it. Thanks. Good job. You know? Like, wow, bro. I'm like, man, that's awesome, Kill. I ain't gonna lie. It was so much, and then I'm like, the different stuff they put in there. The first thing when they went to find He Who Lives, they showed, boom, the 1800s, what was it, 1893 or something, like a little bit before
Chicago World's Fair. That's crazy.
Chicago World Fair.
Did you see the
and
slaves?
They showed
Did you see the fucking slaves at the World Fairs? There was like, wait, a few years before the World Fair, this was going on? Like, what the fuck happened? Well, Kev will tell you what happened.
Exactly, bro. I'm like, man, bro, everything was there. Then there was one scene where the women was attacking him, like, love me, and I started laughing.
They was like what?
They was like, love me. She wanted to rule. The woman wanted to rule.
And she wanted to rule.
And
she wanted to make him fall in love so she can rule.
And that's enchantment again.
That's enchantment again. Sir. Damn.
Yes, sir.
That mean I better be careful. That mean you better have something to offer, Kev. You better be in that word of God as a foundation. Because, you know, I saw the movie too late. Humby.
I'm like, man, bro. Even when it went back, when the AI female was telling the woman what happened and everything, and it showed when him and her were together, and he was like, yeah, you done a great job. Like, man, yeah, like, I'll be your head. You know, the head over you. She was straight when then boom, you got this head about wanting to rule. All hell broke loose.
The AI bitch got jealous to the motherfucker, did it?
For real. I was like, wow, bro, this is some wild stuff right here, bro. This is wild as hell.
AI said, all I need is a body? Hold up.
Yeah. You like, you never made me a body. And he like, oh hell no, I gotta get the hell up out of here for real. That was wild. That made me laugh. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
The
I was just
AI
like,
is tripping. Yeah, nigga, you so smart, motherfucker. AI want you. God damn.
I'm like, dang, bro. And then it was just so much. I was taking notes. I was like, man, I'm gonna remember, bro. I know I'm gonna remember. It was just so much that was in there that
So the black man
everything.
created the heirloom, the
Yes,
temporal loom.
yes, sir.
And the temporal
Temporal
loom
loom.
is there for the sacred timeline. Destroying the timeline meaning destroy and war. So you destroyed everything and you went to war. But that's not the war God was talking about.
That would be the war of the mind.
Yes,
If I'm thinking,
well,
yes,
that's a
sir.
good way to put it. That's a good way to put it because we're talking law, legal, heirship. You feel me? And to come out of the devil's world and enter reality is to honor the king and to enter the republic and to worship God and to understand law and to be good to your brother and treat your neighbor as, and to go right down the steps, right? Just like that. Boom.
Yes, sir.
See, you rejected the
Yes,
king.
sir.
Remember, you killed Jesus and went after the dead God. Peter went upside down in the Catholic Church, remember?
Yep. Yes, sir. Man.
So y'all church in the scientific basis come from the devil. And the telescope, the biggest telescope in the world is Lucifer, the eye of Lucifer. Who hold all the records and the bonds, the king of the bondmen is the Pope, which is a living incarnation of Peter in representation of that seat. So that's again rock bottom.
Rock bottom. Yes, sir. The underworld.
Yes, of course. Live on Earth, disguised as Disneyland, but a multinational corporation, dead estate, controlled and ran out of the United Nations as a controller of those estates, and that is your United States Incorporated. It doesn't include you.
They can't.
They
Because we're
can't.
going to go back to the natural order.
Yes, it has centralized the
Yes,
power,
sir.
as our librarian said. To name an heir is to
We got,
centralize the power. That is to name the king. That is
they
to
do
give
not
him.
want to name
Yeah,
black people.
they want. You don't want to name a goddamn black king, do you?
No, because that means, boom, everything get reversed to the running. Instead of going backwards in time or rolling counterclockwise, it's going to stop time and make time go clockwise.
Yes.
Like it's supposed to.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
See, but that happens at God's
sir.
appointed time. What is that? What type of time is that? That's Kairos or Kairos.
Kairos.
Kairos
Yes, sir.
time.
Kairos time.
Speculative
Which
time.
is, yes, sir. Which is the opposite. They running on Chronos time.
Come on, they worship Chronos and the son Odin.
Chronos.
Yeah, there you go. Now go into that right there. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Talk that shit.
Now the Chronos time is like we said, like you was showing us, is going counterclockwise.
Yes.
So it's the parallel to the main the God's time.
That's right. It's
like
Antichrist.
Kairos time. Antichrist.
Yes.
Yes, sir. And that's what everybody is on, not knowing. They what possessed.
Say it again.
Possessed.
They're possessed and charmed
they're
by
possessed.
enchanters.
Yes, sir. And that's why I can understand, like, when I look on the news or see news stories, the world is going crazy because they backwards in time. They thinking wrong. They antichrist. They looking for antichrist, but it's already here.
Yeah, they've
already
been in it.
possessed by
They've already possessed by
Yes,
Antichrist. You're in it. You've been in it for 100 and something. Hey, the devil said all of the 19th century was all the 20th century was all he is, bro.
Wow, man.
So trust me when I tell you, Loki got you anticipating on the Antichrist. He got you in a time. He got you in a time slot. Now, my question to you is: what if the resurrection of Christ ain't even happened, where He raised up the dead, which is the people in the dead state? What if that ain't even happened? Loki got you believing 3,000 years ago it happened, and you supposed to be in Wonderland, knowing you live in hell, knowing it. You know Jesus, and then this ain't the kingdom of heaven. We're not in some blissful
Right.
heaven. Your ass said the TVA playing around in a false timeline, believing in a false mechanical God like Abraham Lincoln and the rest of these dead presidents who gave you the liberty that he gave you. The real and only king was George Washington and our King George. But George Washington in a dead estate is dead hands, correct?
Yes,
The
sir.
will is in dead hands. So you can
You know what I think about, Kel?
go ahead, King.
Like, let's say on one of these movies where they doing a big robbery, like a big bank
Yes.
robbery, and it's
Yes.
a orchestrated hit.
Yes.
Like when they deal with the cameras, they'll loop it. I think about Loki got to deal with loops. They will
Well,
loop
remember
it to
in
make it
in the
look
movie,
like
you're absolutely right. Remember, even in Loki, when they found out about the time loop and they were honest, the first thing Brad or one of them said was, "Or you can rob a bank." And it was like a wait a minute moment, and then they just moved on. But go ahead, you absolutely right.
Yes, sir. I'm thinking about, all right, they'll show everything on the camera going as usual, but in reality, in the background, we robbing everything. By the time everybody figure it out, you already robbed already.
Yes.
It's done.
Yes.
So like that's what comes to mind when I think about that. When looking up like Loki got something to do with loops. Like you was just saying. They loop in time and loop in events.
Well, let me tell
again.
you, by way of the looping of time and looping of events in your mind is played out through stimuli and your trauma response time and your assimilation with that trauma response time. For instance, in federal America, 9/11 is a collective, federalized, negotiated trauma. You understand? Every year is $1 billion to be made. I'm gonna make me some 9/11 T-shirt so I can make money off the debt too. But that's just what I'm saying. You know, it's the different trauma. Our traumas is our leaders being sniped, and we being such afraid that the women got to step up and say and lead you right off the cliff. Black Lives Matter back into a dead state. So although they're fighting they think they're fighting for a good cause, it's black, 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 black. That trauma, black, that's a trigger word. Dead, 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 dead. Not worthy, not worthy. There's trauma affiliated with that, and that's not a national identity or a nationality. That's a trauma trigger word. What are y'all doing? That's worse than the N word. There's just as much connotation. Go ahead.
The memory, I forget the term. It had to do with time. It was in the episode. Time, the memory. They always say, never forget. That's enchantment. That's like a magical spell.
Yes.
Never we forget. Give you this way to think. Never forget. We make it traumatic. Never forget. I'm like, wow, bro. And then when you mentioned Black Lives Matter, they on some whoever the victim or the
never forget. What's his name? Don't forget it.
Say his name. Never forget 9/11. Never forget the Holocaust.
Never forget.
Never forget.
You see, it's a traumatic, and we're talking on a nationalistic scale now. See, we don't affected everybody in this, and our Arab brothers as well. It's the same trauma response, antichrist way of life and religious construct that they have for it. This is damn near. What's that movie where the fake president, the Manchurian candidate? I'm gonna name y'all the Manchurian candidates in the Manchurian civilizations because we got to wake up to this horror film we've been in. Go ahead, King.
Yeah, Kev. I'm like, man, bro, it's crazy to understanding what things really are and how it's being played out.
Yes.
And you showing us how how the game is being played over us.
On a
And we
scientific
not real.
level, on a molecular level, in a dream state, in a national ID that we all have, identification, nationality we all have, by any means necessary. Somebody got to explain why we ain't got shit. So I'll step up. As I told my niggas in the county jail, when they needed a smart man to step up against this Hindu preaching this madness, I said, I got it. My niggas from Rolling Hundred say, Kev, yeah, nigga, this dude over here trying to convince us of bad spiritual things. Come on out here. And nigga, that's the first time I said, my niggas. I'm not a gangbanger. I'm not nothing. But when y'all call on me to handle this shit, this smart religious, I'm going to let you know exactly what it is. The same way as y'all go hard with y'all streets and wherever y'all from with the numbers on y'all fucking faces and all that, I go hard for this. Go ahead, King. You can call on Tyrone.
Soul Invictus in the flesh.
Soul Invictus in the flesh.
Yes,
You ain't
sir.
no statue. Ain't no statue here. No, this is real organs. This real air. I'm raised right in the middle of it. Talk to him, B. Ain't that true?
Yes, sir.
Can't lie to me.
Definitely true.
Can't lie to me.
For real.
Yeah, because I was a liar too. I was there.
Definitely true.
You got to go
And
through the
I'm
fire.
like,
You got to go through the fire of these sins. We was born in the 7 deadly sins of the belly of the beast. Now, if we was to write this out in a movie, it'll be the best Boys in the Hood Part 2 you ever seen. Go ahead, King.
man, it's gonna be Boys in the Hood. It's gonna be a sci-fi film turned to reality. It's gonna be biblical.
Where is Tyler
It's gonna be
Perry,
the hardest
motherfucker?
movie
Because this
ever.
is big.
Ever. If it's a song, it's the hardest song ever. Yes, sir. And I'm like, bro, it's amazing. That's the word
That's
for
what
it.
it
It's
is.
amazing.
If you can
Once you see it,
hold yourself accountable and look at, which we're gonna be showing next on the next program, is the effects of Universe 25 and the initial programming that went into the war on drugs. The same way they did them people in the early 1900s by putting them on welfare and them getting them on tape looking in their worst condition. They did it in the late 70s and the early 80s in starting with South Central. Now we're gonna call this Project One. Universe 25 Project 1 is going to be South Central, but this goes for every project and ghetto that came after that, or maybe before. I'm just from South Central, and I know our programming had a lot to do with why everybody else is even throwing up Bloods and Crips. So this is the originator. This is the mecca of gangbanging. Let's be honest. We fucked everybody.
Yeah.
We fucked everybody communities up with gang banging. Oh, rag.
Yeah.
But that wasn't our fault. That was Weinstein. That was Ice Cube and them. That was the movie Colors and who financed the way of thinking that went into our minds as young children, and they watched us live this life and it play out. And those of us who was lucky enough or made critical moves to survive. Consider yourself lucky and advance into the next level called regular life. That's fucked up, bro. And that's a different type of trauma. That's a different type of trauma, and we got to stand for that. Go ahead, B.
Even in my city, like neighborhoods, they call them wards.
Told you.
Fifth Ward.
Told you. That's a mental asylum, boy.
Exactly.
What?
And they wards of the state. Everything that you showed us about Universe 25 and the Mechanical Mother.
Yes.
You got wards. Yes, sir. I'm like, man, bro.
A lot of people don't even know what that means. Wards of the state, or why they even call it ward, or like then you got a warden right after you leave the ward, because there's only one way out the ward is to go see the warden.
Straight in prison. Yes, sir. Straight in prison. Not realizing. I'm like, man, that's tough right there. Like, wow, bro. They got the mind, and they start, like you said, it's starting with the mind. They working with the minds of the people. So you'll be in prison and be in a hellish state and be happy with it.
Yes.
You possess, you enchanted.
Yes.
You've been enchanted.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm understanding exactly what you said. Yes, sir. And it's like, dang, bro, to be able to explain this to people who are asleep
Yes.
or people who are possessed or enchanted
Yes.
That's a special
That's
task,
a duty, bro.
Kelvin.
That's a duty. And I realize I can't
real.
I can't force people to be better students. I can only help them be better students. So like I say, I've learned a lot in the last few years of, hey, be a great student, pay attention, do your homework. But if you're not going to be a superstar for yourself, there's only so much I can do. But when you're ready to be a superstar, I'll be here. I'm still here. You still gonna have to meet the definitive. Yeah, you can play around in the world, but remember, that shit over there is not even real. Charleston White ain't real. Say Cheese TV ain't real. They used to say cheese before they stole your soul and take a picture and steal your inheritance.
Ooh.
Huh?
Wow, man. Yes, sir. Wow.
Huh?
Yep.
And
Yes, sir.
only rats say cheese.
Dang.
Huh?
Dang. Against the king.
Against the king. Punk. See, that's why they got a school, though. That's why they got a school. See, that's why Say Cheese is they trying to bite my style. See, but they not quantum with this shit. They don't know about this. You know why? Because they're part of the circus. They went to Harvard and studied to what it's like. Y'all wasn't out there. Y'all was in grammar school. Y'all was wearing Letterman jackets. Y'all was in fraternities going, and then y'all knew us. Y'all left y'all cousins and them behind. See, we was stuck there. Y'all went off and being great. Y'all got good dental work and good smiles, good production behind y'all. But in reality, when it comes to this real shit, though, you don't know nothing about it. It's something you can capitalize and make money off of, like DJ Academics in the War of Chirac, or Nipsey Hussle's Death, Say Cheese TV, or this one and that one. They really ain't got nothing. They're one-trick ponies, and that's what make you a monkey. Is a one-trick pony. You ain't gonna until they use you up. See me, there's different styles to Kev. I can throw a hat on, suit and tie, this one and that one. You'll never catch me with no dark shades though, because I want you to see my soul in my eyes. I ain't hiding shit. You feel me?
For real.
I ain't graduated shit. I ain't never graduated no school. Y'all went off and became. Yeah.
Like Cameo. Like, I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea about me. I don't have
nothing to hide. I want the world to see. I'm a gangster. Gangsters, niggas. Do you? And don't get this shit fucked up. I'm still a Democrat. I'm still here with my niggas. Don't get this shit fucked up.
For real. Like, they be thinking like, you telling people not to do bad things. Yeah. They thinking you on some Smokey Robinson
like I'm out.
You remember when he made that show? It ain't even like this. What that boy was saying, smoking and dope. They think he's gonna be on some lame stuff like that. Drinking that
Come on, man. Oh man, I'm telling you, because we right here with it.
Like that, it's gonna be some bullshit. Yeah, Kel. Yes, sir.
We right here in it. That's why I'm saying it. Because there's only one, doing bad things is one step away. It's only one step away. Yeah. One bad bill, one non-payment of a bill, one eviction letter away. And your ass be, oh man, maybe I got to bust a move right now. See? But you
now next step, you being charged. Straight up. You being charged, you get convicted. I'm like, wow.
And since this is your second time, this gonna get you 3 to 10, depending on who you pushed on the way out with your stolen product.
For real.
I'm cool.
Like, man, bro, I'm cool because we know what that is. Y'all tapping in. That's how y'all that mooring system tapping into the trust.
Come on.
Through criminality.
Through criminality.
For real.
I wouldn't be surprised these niggas come here to live in jail. They was criminals where they was from. They come and steal a name and go right to jail so they can tap into the trust. Man, fuck y'all. Press 1. I'm starting to think y'all motherfuckers don't came up with a diabolical scheme and where y'all from. I think y'all supposed to be in jail and just steal a name and go right to jail. You live here for
Hey,
like them little Mexicans who came over here and beat up the officers and then they went to Texas or Arizona and got their ass arrested. They was crying like a motherfuckers because this is what arrested
For
really look
real.
like. Nigga, you know Arizona police got ICE in the next room, nigga. Texas, California.
Oh, they own it.
You not leaving this
Texas passed
facility.
the law. They don't even know. Texas passed the law. The governor passed the law.
What'd he
like,
say?
You know how they do us with the what they call that when they just walk up on you and ask you for your ID
Yes.
based on who you are? What do they call that term? But anyway, he's doing it for people
Illegals.
who are illegal. So
Come
now
here.
they gonna just be walking up. Hey,
Come
let
here.
me see your identification.
Ooh, they gonna
Here
be
in
moving
Texas,
everywhere.
whole state.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Come here. That's
So-
that's a Mexican flag on your truck. Come here. Brr.
Come
Turn
here.
it
Let
over.
me see your ID.
Let me see your ID. Come here,
Let me make sure
Eduardo.
you here legally.
Because Chinese people, I don't want to just make fun of my Mexican brothers. I'm making fun because I'm from Cali.
Nah, it ain't just them.
No, but I'm
It's
from
gonna be
Cali.
anybody.
No, I ain't gonna lie. We be clowning in L.A. I ain't gonna lie to you, B. Us in the Latinos,
Cause y'all similar to us. We all on the border of Mexico.
oh, you right. Because they be clowning us and we be clowning them on this type of shit, so they know what the fuck we talking about. But
Right, right.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. It's not Latinos that's crossing the border. It's blacks and
Nah.
it's Chinese people, Asians. And these two
Indian,
different
yeah.
African groups and Arabs and Jews and Ukrainians, these are all foreign nations coming over here. And these are grown-ass army look-alike motherfuckers who can be usurping our government by way of border. So I commend them damn Americans going down there. God, I love me some white Americans because they going to do shit like that. They got the temporal loom down. For the timeline, nigga, a
For real,
cowboy.
yeah.
You don't told them they was cowboys. They believe that forever. They gonna live in that timeline and protect America. Trust me when I tell you.
For real. You boys riding around jamming. They proud to be American. Like, well, I'm proud to be an American. Believe that.
Where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget them. And fuck that. That's their story and they sticking with it. They sticking to it. But all they know is we can do better as American and, Stater Brothers is in the heartland, nigga, and we got to do better. But to the rest of you folks who really don't know us black people, y'all gonna have it hard. Y'all the ones who gonna really have it hard because y'all came over here with a script like, oh, they ain't shit, look down on them. Then you gonna find out them is God's people and they actually gave y'all access to all the wealth. And these immigrants got $20,000 credit cards and I got $700 in my bank account. I'm mad as hell. It make me want to expatriate to repatriate just to get 20 grand, man.
To get a check.
Just to get a check.
That's wild.
Because the people don't support
That's
me,
wild.
B. The people don't support. You know who supported me today? Tracy. Shout out to Tracy with that big $100 contribution in Bocat for Cavro and nothing. Deborah, William,
Yes,
Todd,
sir.
Cedric, Jefferson, Shiva, Deborah Nichols, Pop Deuce, Nelda Bailey with that $400. That's why I let people say why Nelda can say anything. Because she's the author of the EBT program for you niggas who don't contribute. Shout out to Taylor Hornick, Ollie Ware, and everybody else I miss. I love y'all. Go ahead, B.
Yeah. Like, even when it come to that, like, everybody under a program, but it's all, I'm looking at it like it's all gonna be used for good to uplift he who lives and God.
Now what are the similarities between he who lives and he who remains? What is that? Explain that as I go outside and get my lunch to the people.
All right. Well, I'm looking at the similarities. He who lives, all right, that's got something to do with a trust, the trust of George Washington Gillespie, like we learned. All right, and then in the movie, you got the other one from the movie. His different variant. They show different variants of him, like he who lives. You know, like you got George, and then you got his heir, who will be taking control of the airship. Then you got over here, you got the different variants from him being making the TVA, and then to being already knowing what's going on with everything with the airship and how they trying to steal the airship and like Kev said, stolen valor. So yeah, it's many similarities that I've seen in it.
So you either live by Loki or the devil, or live by he who remains, time. Chronos
Yes,
or
sir.
Kiro.
Yes, sir. Kiro. Yes, sir. Kiro, we're gonna be straight. I'm gonna be straight up.
That's
Like,
crazy,
I
bro.
look at
It's come down to God, to the God being black, the creator of all of this being black, and then or Loki, the devil,
exactly that. And to be honest, Kev,
or
when like
accepting
you talk
reality,
about,
like what happened, like the black genocide, the whole story, and nothing but the truth. Go ahead, King. I'm sorry.
yeah, no, you good. Even when I looked at it, and I'm like, wow, they got a black man as the one who's
Created.
over everything. He created it.
Yes.
And I'm like, wow, bro. And you right. When he told her champ, when he said champ, I'm like, oh man, bro, this is like you talk about what's that movie with Valcor and all of that,
With who?
The Never Ending Story.
Yes.
It make you pause. When you understand, it make me pause like, wow, bro, this shit is real. Like,
Yeah.
I
It's
know
very
it.
real.
I'm like,
Who called people me?
very real. So I'm like, man, bro, this
He
thing
called the
is,
devil champ because he knew he was gonna do it.
yep, I already knew.
He already knew. Go ahead, champ. Yeah, go ahead.
Don't do what you gonna do. Even in the Bible, like when Christ knew he was gonna be betrayed, he told him to hurry up, do it quickly. Go on, do your thing. You gonna do it anyway. So let's get it. Let's do this thing so you can see
It's
that
facts.
you can't win. You can't win. It's already won. Already done. Yes, sir.
Well done. Let me get
I'm
to the
like
next
that.
caller. Let me see who else on the line. I see you in a minute, B. My nigga B. Let's see who over here today. Coffee and Kush TV on the air. What up? Call back. Call back. Call back. You miss it. You MIA. I can't hear you. Hello? Yeah, they got a call back. Caller, you there? Yes, no, maybe so. Cool. It's almost that time for me to eat. You're like Jesus calling Judas friend. Facts. Like that. Just like that, actually. So it's all in reference. They're telling you why you're in, why the TVA is needed, why, what the temporal loom, why the eternal flame, why the continual time loop. Why? Because that's who that is. So to get out of the continuous time loop or the bottomless pit, press what? Man must be in it and must believe it for it to be real. So you must believe in a dead corporation, a dead state, with the God of the dead. You understand? With a dead knowledge for those who are dead to be made life and those who are living to die, which is necromancy, for the dead to live through the living. No, your ancestors don't live through you. That's a false concept. But the body does retain trauma and can be put on repetitive cycles that may lead to you being stagnant and stuck or in a coma-like state. Make sure you support this broadcast. I'll see you soon. Cavro University, Channel 54, The Bungalow. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the people who called in today. Wait. Got a call. Let's see if we got an intelligent speaker
From
in.
Kevin.
Carol, you on the air? What up?
Hello? Yeah, I need a pin, sir.
Oh, okay. Let me get to you. Hold up. Let me get to you. So yeah, make sure y'all tune into the program. I had to get my Uber pin number. I'm so hungry, and we're gonna get back to these programs. I'm gonna be showing y'all trauma from South Central. Y'all gonna be able to see where it all originated and how it got to Chicago, New York, this one and that one, how they made these drug dealers and drug the CIA program legit and a reason to rule over you. So we're gonna get back to that. Cairo University. I love y'all. I'll see y'all soon.